just little cartoons. I don't know if you saw our logo, or is like a really talented animation artist made me look like an old video game character.
Oh, that's sweet. Emphasis on the
Cute.
old. Was it kind of mean?
Yeah, like a Earthbound style. I don't know if that game hits for you all. Mother 3.
Yep.
Um,
That's like Halo.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Halo.
It's-
Halo. GoldenEye.
Mother 3.
And Mario. And you've heard of Wario before?
Yeah,
I'm
Wario's.
trying to connect with you. I don't know how to talk to straight gamers.
I like playing Fortnite. My boyfriend got me into Fortnite.
Really, are you like really into Fortnite? Where you're like, where are we dropping Twisted Towers?
No, I'm not good yet, and I don't I typically drop at the end of the bus,
Yeah,
but I'll come in regularly around fifth or sixth place, which I think is
That's
good.
because you go and hide.
that's
That's
a
your
valid
strategy.
strategy.
I only like looting and I like picking my outfit. I don't care about shooting people.
But also, that's what PETA did in the Hunger Games, and he did fine. He lay down in that mud, and he made
Yeah.
really good
Oh
studio
my
effects makeup on his face, and he survived.
Yeah.
He's so small. He's such a short king. I bet he didn't have to use a lot of mud.
That scene always drove me crazy because I embarrassed to admit I read the books, and they were like, "Oh, PETA."
I read the books.
I loved it.
Okay, we're all in it. Well, I don't know if you remember in the books, it was like, well, PETA's a baker, so he's used to decorating bread.
Decorating breads. Yes,
That's
that
a
makes so
skill.
much sense.
So in the book, when it's like, well, he hid in the mud, I was like, oh yeah, he must have put some he put some brown face on. But like in the movie,
That's been a
he has
problem
like
in the
Stan
past.
Winston monster effects, like grass growing out of his face and like fake worms. Like he went full tilt.
He went hard.
I miss
Good
him.
for him.
I miss
I don't-
It's a shame he's dead.
Yeah. What a bummer.
No, wait. I thought he survived.
It was a joke, Alexis.
Well, does anyone really survive war, Alexis? That's the real question.
Yeah. His soul died. No matter if the body may still be alive, but his desire to live is not.
Yeah, he got all brain scrambled or something, I think.
Yeah.
He got brainwashed. MAGA.
President Snow just made him look at Facebook the whole time, but they would.
I
Yeah.
gotta be honest with you. Of all the Hunger Games characters, the mains, I do think he would be the most likely to be red pilled for sure.
1000%.
A baker who's a little short, for sure.
A history with brown face.
Yeah,
A history with brown face. Your
Hair.
romantic rival is really tall and hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
his economy
Red pill.
is going word, so he's blaming the government for
Trying to murder the woman he's allegedly in love with in the last book.
He's just horny because she's close by. That's it.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe Gale, only in that like the hunter thing, but also there's nothing to Gale. He's just a flat stone. There's
My
nothing
mom's
Yeah.
best friend growing up, her name was Gail. Is that
Is your mom
interesting?
Oprah?
Should we include that in the podcast?
there. Yeah, we can include this is all in the podcast. This is
Oh,
all
perfect.
Oh, we've
for it.
started.
This
Oh,
is
shit,
it.
did
This
you
is
wanna
how we
do
just
an-
warm up?
Did you want to do an intro? Did you want to do your?
Oh yeah, we can do the
your
intro now.
goosies?
I slowly warm you up into it. Where it's like a frog in a boiling pot of water. You didn't even know it was the podcast.
Whoa.
And then when the time is called, it's like, welcome to Goosebuds. We'll officially do it now, Darby and Alexis.
Shocking.
Welcome. This is a podcast that used to be about covering just the works of R.L. Stine. And to be honest, it broke me and my co-host brains. So now we have pivoted. Well, two of my co-hosts have died. I killed them
Yeah.
both. Killed them all,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Like Robert Durst.
Hunger Games style.
Yes.
For sure.
And now it is more opening into what is some old classic media that gives you goosebumps. It could be horror. I threw it out to you both. Welcome, guests Darby and Alexis.
Hi.
Hugely honored to have you here.
Us.
Thank you
Honored
for
to be
having
here.
us.
And I think, Alexis, you were like, what gives me goosebumps? You were the one going speed.
Yeah, so I love 90s action movies, specifically from 1994 to 1997,
Wow.
1998. So we got your
Mhm.
Jurassic Parks, we got your Rivers Wild, we got your Die Hard was probably earlier, right? Around 92 or
90.
Yes,
something.
because I believe the
Yeah.
cinematographer of Die Hard is the one who directed this movie.
Is the direct? Yeah, Jan de
Wait,
Bont.
what?
Yes,
I
Jan de
love
Bont.
Hollywood.
He did like 4 movies and then he pieced out. He did Twister, which is another fave, but
Great
ultimately,
classic. Haven't seen new Twisters plural, but Twister 1 is amazing.
as a lover of Twister's original recipe, I support this new venture, and I really liked it. I had to see it. I went and saw it in the movie theater twice. But Speed is my ultimate favorite. I think it has everything. It's all genres of film: romance, action, horror, comedy, drama, and
Drummer.
say what you want about Keanu Reeves. He is pitch perfect in this role, and there is nobody better than Sandra Bullock as Annie.
It's fantastic. Oh, are we? Is there negative feelings towards Keanu Reeves? Because I'll stump for that guy.
Okay,
Everyone
no.
says he's a one-note actor, but I don't care about that.
Correct. So this is what
Everyone
I
says he plays Jack from Speed. I'm sorry, go ahead, Darby.
No. I cover your bra. I don't want to see your
It's
giant
not a bra.
tits.
It's not a bra. It's actually, I'm wearing I looked for a dress like the dress that Annie wears in Speed, and I found one. And I'm wearing it right now.
That is the dress.
It's
Okay,
it's the closest I could ever
listeners,
find on thrifting.
For people
I'm
listening, let's
obsessed.
describe it.
Yeah.
It's a dress that is very revealing. What?
It's a little low cut, so I'm wearing a thing underneath. But because she wears like a onesie, she wears like a blue leotard onesie underneath. And she wears these cute brown boots and like ruffly socks. I'm obsessed with every aspect of this movie. So go ahead.
Her outfit, Sandra Bullock as Annie. Yeah, she is. There's some good hot chemistry between her and military buzz cut Keanu Reeves in this movie, I think.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
I
Keanu.
just learned.
Keanu. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
No.
I've been
Alexis,
interrupting
this is
you
your
this entire time.
You know what? I've been interrupting you. Trans
Our whole
rights.
life. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but say about Keanu, because I got something to say about Keanu's hair.
Let me just say real quick, and then I won't talk the rest of the podcast. So when you asked,
that's totally what I wanted you all to come on. Is just come on and just let me talk to you about Speed.
And thank you so much. When you asked us to do this, we were talking about what we wanted to talk about, and she's obviously Speed is like, it's her number one favorite thing. I've never loved anything as much as she loves the movie Speed. And that's not to call her autistic, although that is how it presents in her. And I wanted to do Die Hard because that is my favorite Christmas movie. And Bruce
Not
Willis
Ernest Saves Christmas, nothing like that.
Hot. Ernest was not like turning me on the way that that Bruce Willis did. John McClane.
Ernest Scared Stupid was
Ernest Goes to Jail.
Was a pivotal
now, that
movie
was homoerotic.
Ernest Goes to Jail is with his twin that takes his body. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a Jim Varney tangent, but that is kind of what the show is.
I
think he's deserving. Yeah, I think he was a good unproblematic.
May he rest. May he
I love
rest.
him.
Well, he was unproblematic because no one asked him his opinion. He died before social media. There's no way. Listen, I love Jim Varney's
that's
work.
how it
There's
should
no
be.
way that Jim Varney should have a Twitter account.
I will warn you that if you ever do an Ernest rewatch like I have, you will find a few old cultural jokes. I think there's one early on in Ernest Saves Christmas where Santa Claus is going through the TSA or whatever it was called back in the 90s, and there's a joke of like, wacky, non-conservative American people. There's lesbians in line at the airport. There's vague Middle Eastern people, and it's all a build-up for the security agent to be like, and this guy says he's Santa Claus. I've seen everything here today.
Yeah, Jim, listen, Ernest gives MAGA, but he died before MAGA, so he stayed pure.
Yeah.
Okay. No, but here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about Keanu Reeves. I'm a huge Keanu Reeves fan. I simply adore all of the John Wick movies.
She loves John Wick.
I love John Wick. There's not a single John Wick. I love Sandra and Keanu's passion in
The Lake House.
Oh my God! I didn't realize that was a reunion, a Speed reunion.
Yes, but they were in
filmed
different
in
timelines.
Chicago.
Different timelines. Speed, they were in the same bus the whole time. Lake House, totally
never
different
together.
Years. Crazy.
Kids are never.
Anyway, I never saw the Lake House. Did Keanu ever like open the mailbox and peek in there and just be like, "Hello," and just like gotta say a little something?
Honestly, he should have.
That's the
that
first
would have been
part
funny.
of the movie. Yeah, it's actually really good. It got hated on for some reason.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. I love it.
I think you guys are saying Keanu in general is an actor that people dump on. I'm also a big fan of Bill and Ted. I think he's great.
Yeah, well, there's Bill and Ted.
He's Nicolas Cage. Okay, he's an
the same
icon.
character in every movie.
He has he created this career for himself at the very beginning that was like, this is what I do best. And they're like, great, let's just churn out like 10 movies in a row where you're the same guy. And now that's just what he does. Is he a great actor? I don't believe that to be true. However, he does Keanu in a movie really well, and I will see anything that he does.
Did you see Sonic 3?
Did I what?
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
I won't see that. I won't see that.
No. Yeah.
I won't see that. Yeah.
You're not missing much. It's fine.
It's just the voice of him. He's just the voice.
Yeah,
of him,
he's a hedgehog with a gun in that movie. So it's a little John Wick.
I've never wanted a hedgehog to have a gun. I just want it on record. I'm for gun control only in the hedgehog community.
Yeah, no one did. That is based off a game that Sonic the Hedgehog was like, what if Sonic was not cool enough? What if we gave a black hedgehog a gun and a motorcycle?
Oh,
and
that's
adapted
tough.
that into a movie. Yeah,
that's tough. Yeah,
is a hedgehog same as porcupine or different?
That's a great question, Alexis. I don't,
are they pokey or are they soft?
I mean, I wish I had one. I wish I knew.
I think they're softer than porcupines. I think you can touch a hedgehog, not that you'd want to.
Pokey?
Okay. Everyone wants to touch Sonic the Hedgehog. That is a thing.
I remember before the movie came out when they released the image where he had human teeth and everyone freaked out.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
And they ended up spending so much money fixing it, and that is so funny to me.
It's hilarious. There are conspiracy theories I see of people going, they did that intentionally, right? They made an ugly Sonic so that we would all celebrate when they made a good-looking Sonic. I don't think the studios are doing that. I think the studios made an ugly Sonic and then
pivoted.
And then
like that Lucy, that statue of Lucille Ball? Do you remember that? That ugly-ass statue? And it stayed up for a while, y'all. It stayed up for a while. And listen, you don't have to be a fan of Lucy to look at that and go, no, that's fucked up.
But we only talked about it because it was ugly, So maybe there was something until they made it nice.
That's true. Okay. Well, I'm rethinking everything. Keanu's a great actor.
Now, Lucy is a comedian who could do drama because she had the range. Mm-hmm. And Sandra Bullock's Annie in this film also has incredible range. Also, the bus went through a range of roads,
obstacles,
and streets. And
I saw a quote from the director that said the bus was a character too, and
absolutely
needed an arc. Yeah, thank you, Alexis, for bringing us back on task from Sonic the Hedgehog.
They said that about.
Of course.
They said that first, and then Sex and the City copied it and said New York is a character as well.
Is that where that started? Sex and the City, the New York is a character.
Yeah.
Well, New York's always had a.
I'm just saying that. I have no idea. I just believe in Speed.
I saw Speed. It must have been like a thing where a sister brought it over to watch with her friends, and I came down and watched it too, because I was definitely young when it came into my life, and through the years I just keep revisiting it. And now that I've moved grew up in Texas, I lived in Chicago for 18 years. We both moved here about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now that I live in LA where Speed happens, it is the first show. It's the first movie I show to any prospective mate. I've shown it to two mates. One took.
Mm-hmm. Luckily she hasn't had to show it to that many.
Yeah. I showed it to Darby. I showed it to you when we lived in Chicago still. But we've watched it again since living here. I made my roommate watch it. Like, it is the number one movie where I say, because I like to share my love through movies and TV by showing it to people. It's my number one because it's got everything. And now that we live here, I'm like, oh my God, Pershing Square, that's where they did the drop. And it went through the trash can. Oh my God, it starts in Santa Monica. It's just so exciting.
Maybe you already done this, Alexis. While I was watching it again, I really wanted to do, in LA, there's several here are Hollywood landmark tours. There was one. It was when I first came out here that was so probably embarrassing, but it was like the 500 Days of Summer tour. It was like, here's all the locations from 500 Days of Summer, the Ray Bradbury building. Here's the bench that...
That's intense, Chad.
It's intense. It's intense. But I feel like you could do a speed tour of here's the path.
But you have to go over 50 miles per hour the whole time.
The whole time.
And you can't slow down no matter what.
Well, that's another element to it is I don't drive, but I get to borrow cars often. I'm just driving in LA. Every once in a while, I'll think, oh my God, if
you don't
I
own a
had
car.
I don't own a car, but I borrow cars
There we go.
sometimes. And
When you
just
say borrow,
driving
you
around
mean you
LA,
just go up to a car and take it and it's yours now.
Darby lets me drive her car sometimes. I'm a very
Okay.
good driver, and my
I
roommate
do.
Kevin. But sometimes I'll be driving around the city and I'll think, oh my God, if I had to get up to 50 and stay there, it would be impossible.
You're
Right.
screwed.
You'd be so
Because
fucked.
people do drive crazy here.
I don't know if I've ever
Crazy
gone up to
urban.
50 in LA. I feel like I've always been idling the whole time.
I know.
Yeah, I think I've walked most of the time I've been in the car. I Flintstone'd it. It's faster.
Just yeah.
Oh
well,
my
there are
God.
actually holes in the bottom of this bus. They could have at some point, Flintstoned it. Should we lay out a little bit of the plot of this for
Oh
the
my
listeners?
God, please.
Yeah.
I think this is an interesting opening where this is a movie. You always say it's about a bus. We don't get to that bus for like 30 minutes.
For a while.
But you get right into the action, so you don't feel
Immediate action.
It's so good. I mean, except for those credits, because you're going down the elevator tunnel for
Okay, wait.
15 minutes. of
Okay,
opening
wait. The credits, though, baby.
But
The
I'm
credits.
obsessed.
That font and that gradient on the font, that was so Microsoft Paint. And I gotta tell you, nothing excited me more as a child than seeing like a mid-90s computer nerd put together a new font.
Yes.
I thought that was the coolest shit. Gradient? Wait,
Yeah.
there's multiple colors on one letter? Rich.
Yeah.
This
It was
rich.
so cool,
Tense
and they
action.
literally drop you right into the action, where the first thing you see is the guy tinkering around. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Dennis Hopper, the villain of this, who I know he's in a bunch of stuff. I always see him as King Koopa from the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh
John
my
Leguizamo.
God, completely forgot.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, you gotta rewatch him as King Koopa with his slick back hair in that movie. That movie is nuts.
Oh, that's brilliant.
He is just working. He has snuck into this building. This is pre 9/11. Security's lower everywhere.
Yeah.
We had no idea what lay ahead of us.
And some random security guard is going way above and beyond. He's hearing a little bit of rummaging, and he's just walking into the elevator shaft to find Dennis Hopper messing with stuff, and gets a screwdriver in the cheek.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's dead instantly.
Yeah.
Now, may I speak on this?
Yes, please.
So immediately within the first few minutes, after the first 5 minutes of Microsoft Paint credits,
sequence, yeah.
the
Gradient,
title sequence,
yeah.
immediately a security guard is murdered in front of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they never, ever mention it. Okay, they go through, they do the whole thing, they get their medals and everything, and then while they're celebrating the fact that they did such a good job, I think one of them says, like, what do you mean, man? Like, we won. No civilians died. The only person that died was the guy that set the bomb. So, did no one find the body?
No,
Is
I
the
think
body
several.
in there?
Also, several other people died too, besides that guy. But yeah, you're right.
But in that specific incident, it
Yeah.
started with the guy dying.
Yeah.
And when they're talking after, this is like weeks later when they get their medals and they're hanging out at the bar.
This
What?
is definitely a plot hole. that I have
That does
never
the
thought
entire
about.
movie.
He's wearing his little medal and he's like, no civilians died. What about security guard? Or do they think a security guard is like a cop?
Yeah.
ACAB.
Civilian.
A cab
He
for
When
was-
you
security
sign up to
guards.
guard, yeah, you
He
sign up to
was-
guard that
yeah.
building, you're putting your life on
He
the
had
line.
a badge. Yeah.
There's
Oh,
a
that
little,
sucks.
there's a tiniest bit of ACAB, not to jump too far ahead, but later on, Keanu Reeves is Jack. He's talking to a guy on the bus with a gun, and he's like, I don't care what your crime was. I think Jack only cares about bombs. That's what his main thing was. If you have a
He's
bomb.
so-
Yeah.
into
So
bombs.
I want to say, even though Speed is my favorite movie of all time, top 5, I do believe in ACAB wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but they're fun characters. When they can't shoot through the screen, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
When they're not suppressing me and my rights,
Yeah,
they're pretty fun.
Exactly. No, but
Yeah.
so he puts a bomb on this fucking elevator, and that was another thing. I'm so sorry, Alexis. I'm not tearing it apart because it's a bad movie. I'm tearing it apart because I'm a faggot, and that's what we do. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
That was the most lively elevator, and I know they didn't have phones, But still, they all got in and everyone's talking to each other. They're all
This is what we used to
thrilled
do.
to be in an elevator.
We used
I
to
think
communicate.
I think they all came from a meeting, or like the majority of them came from the same meeting, and then there was those other people around the perimeter.
Well, there's nothing I loved more when I used to work at an office than getting out of a meeting and then talking to everyone about the meeting.
Okay, but we're from the age of internet and phone. For distraction, they didn't have that.
Yeah.
People used to just
No, we're
talk
not. We're
to
from
each
that
other.
age. Oh,
No, but
listeners,
we grew both.
Yeah. How old are you, Chad?
I had to think about it. I am 38.
Alexis, how old are you?
I'm 39.
And I'm 40.
Hell yeah.
We're in order.
I think you all could pass for 22 and totally got
I get told that all the time. Thank you.
much.
They also say
Yeah.
I'm skinny and funny.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You'll
and
say
they
that
say,
later.
yeah. Okay.
No, this was a different, more innocent time where people didn't have their phones distracted. But you know what? If they had been on their phones, maybe this bomb would have gone differently. They could have called for help. They are in the dark when this bomb goes off. I don't think anyone tells these people in the elevator at all what's going on. It is just sit tight. Meanwhile, all of New York is locked, or not locked, Los Angeles, has locked down to get these people, and a bomb and a threat. They have not told these people anything.
Yeah. Although I will say, so they're in there because he's the guy, Dennis Hopper. He wants money.
Yes.
What's that called? So he's holding them hostage for money. He's just trying to get like millions of dollars. And we don't know why yet. We don't care. He's just a bad guy. He wants money. But the first time we see Jack is we have to suspend our disbelief for this movie sometimes. But my favorite belief suspension or whatever is when you first see him in the car that flies over the hill.
Oh, yeah. That's right. It's like the Dukes of Hazzard.
Over the hill.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Yes. You don't know it's him.
I don't remember that.
Car zooms over the hill, flies over the camera, and hits the ground, and then continues, and you see that it's Jack. You see that it's.
And they just shook it out. Yeah, they
so
landed
funny.
it perfectly. Just another day being a bomb guy. Just getting out.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting. I was really thrown that Jack's partner in this is Jeff Daniels, who
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I either always see him as from Dumb and Dumber or what's that show where everyone just has perfect hindsight? The Aaron Sorkin show where they all just talk about the news that already happened.
Network.
Oh,
the newsroom. The
Newsroom.
It's funny, Darby, you say network because this is my little soapbox. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Network.
Yes, of course I have.
Every opening of every Aaron Sorkin show is him just stealing from the opening to Network. If you think about it.
Well, because it was a perfect Oscar-nominated, an Oscar-winning movie, right?
I think so, but it's every Aaron Sorkin show. Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip about SNL, News Radio.
Studio 60, I'm so bummed about. I thought it had such potential.
I was
really
in it.
Did.
I was into it.
Yeah.
I was like, get this 30 Rock out of here. I want to see the serious world, but all of his shows.
Okay, well, don't say that ever about 30 Rock. 30 Rock is one of the most perfect television shows ever made.
I do love 30 Rock.
Thank you.
It's just funny that for 1 year, NBC was like, let's do 2 shows about working in SNL. That's crazy.
Wasn't that Matthew Perry? Rest in peace.
Yes, Matthew Perry. Oh my God, rest in peace, Matthew Perry. The self-insert for Aaron Sorkin. Alexis, this is just now about Studio 60. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've never seen any of those.
But you do love talking about Matthew Perry dying in a hot tub. That's kind of like your whole thing.
Well, you know what's funny is not to bring it back to Speed is later the guy on the bus that was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, Alan Ruck.
He's so hot.
Definitely the same person, different font of Matthew Perry to me.
Yeah.
Like I thought they were this. My young brain was like, oh, is that Friends guy? No.
Have you seen him lately? He was just on an episode of Elsbeth, I think, this past season.
Matthew Perry died.
Not Matthew Perry, dumb bitch.
Oh, Alan Ruck. Yeah, he was good. He played twins.
And you could see his pecs through his shirt.
Oh, really?
I love that. When you see an older man, his pecs, they used to be all muscle, and now there's a layer of fat, and his nipples are a little saggy. Sorry.
I'm rocking that at 38. I'm doing great.
You're doing great, Chad. Oh,
Thank
Chad,
you.
do not let me see them pecs. This will turn into a very different podcast.
That's the Patreon bonus episode for sure.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
No, I should go off my diatribe, but if you ever watch any other Aaron Sorkin opening of a show, he always does the opening of Network. Someone in Newsroom, it's Jeff Daniels. He does a whole like, here's what's wrong with America, and it's videotaped, and all the students are losing their minds, and it changes all of his shows have that same opening. He just does it.
Isn't it amazing that Jeff Daniels turned out to be such an iconic, very talented dramatic actor when, like, I think the thing that put him on most people's maps is Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
certainly
now,
our
like,
generation. Yeah.
what was it like last year? He was on Broadway in Death of a Salesman or something, just like long and really, really hard to watch. Like Jeff Daniels to start as Dumb and Dumber, but now to be like an iconic actor. Good for you, girlfriend.
Yeah.
I love your work.
He's pretty serious in this, even though he's Keanu Reeves, Jack's partner. There's a few small quips, but I think they give all the good lines to Jack.
I don't know. He's got some funny ones.
Name them.
I'm trying to remember. And maybe it's worth talking about the line. The first one that comes to mind of really showing Jack is the bomb squad is assembled outside the building, and their chief is like, "Oh, the locks have blown. What else will stop it?" And Jack's like, "The ground." But he's not. He's not even trying to make a joke. He's just talking about how dark this world is, being a bomb guy.
Yeah, they're both pretty dry.
He did get shot in the leg so that he wouldn't die.
Later, after he gets shot in the leg, and they're celebrating at the bar. He's like, "I'm gonna go home and have sex" or something like that. And then Jack's like, "You're gonna go home and throw up," and he's like, "Yeah, well, that'll be nice too."
I'm gonna go home and make love to my wife. That's the line from Clear.
That's what he says. Yes.
Is that, and Chad, we don't have wives. Is that something that you say? Is that something people say?
I say it often in most work meetings, and they're like, "Please stop. This is inappropriate." But
is that but you mean, and then after the meeting when you get in the elevator, you're still saying it?
Yes, yeah,
right?
yeah,
okay.
Very much so. Talking to all my coworkers, and I'm like, "No, get off your phone. I need to tell you about my love making at the end of the
exactly night. With your wife,
my legal God fearing wife,
Heidi, our former landlord. What a small world.
She's going to be devastated to know that is the running joke that you all consider her your landlord. As
it devastated us when she raised our rent. So now we're even, Heidi.
She literally, anytime we see someone on screen that we know is like, not to yuck the yum, Hannibal Buress, famous Chicago comedian.
Love him.
No landlord now. And so every time he pops up on the screen, we just yell, "Landlord!" And then just boo him from where we are.
He's a landlord?
I believe he's talked on this podcast about owning multiple properties in Chicago. So, yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If it has to be someone, let it be Hannibal Buress.
It should be Hannibal Buress, yeah.
Yeah.
Speed. Oh, no, this is what I mentioned. The lines in the dialogue. Did you all know, I think that Alexis, especially, if you're the Speed fan.
She's a speedhead.
Did you know who is credited for a lot of the dialogue rewrites on this movie?
I just looked this up. It does happen to be Joss Whedon of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame.
No!
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense in hindsight that the script was written and credited to Graham Yost, but he has said that most of the lines were changed in rewrite. A few character things had changed, like Alan Ruck, who you mentioned before, his pecs. Was more of a like shitty lawyer before, and then they made him like a Hollywood tourist. But yeah, some of these lines.
We're at the airport.
Yeah,
I've already seen it.
That's
a great line. Hey,
line.
Kiddos, I'm so sorry. I'm a piece of shit. I have got to take Puppy to go pee. I just realized I meant to do it before we started. Y'all talk.
We could just let this keep going. That's fine.
I'm gonna watch my dog piss. Okay, bye.
All right, what's up?
Alexis, you were the one I really wanted to talk to.
I know this is my time to shine. You'll have to have Darby on later to talk about other nostalgia things, because this is the only thing that I remember
of your entire past.
Probably from the 90s. Yeah, it's the only thing I've brought with me. Okay, wait. Let's get back to this plot.
Yeah, let's get back to this plot. We've barely got into this cold open of this elevator bomb threat. I love that we learn, and Jack Traven,
I believe.
Yeah, what a cool action guy name. Keanu Reeves and his partner Harry are really kind of just going above and beyond their orders of like, something stinks. My gut's just telling me this bomb don't make no sense. This guy wants something. Why would he ask for this money? But he hasn't really given that much evidence. It's just Keanu's great instincts.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and what is he? I feel like he's chewing gum too in that moment.
Oh my god! Oh, it drove my wife crazy how much he's chewing gum in all of his lines. But then he swallows it. That's how badass he is. When things are getting serious, he's like, "This gum's got to go down in my gullet."
Yeah. Because he's still a keeper of decorum and peace, and he would never spit his gum out.
No, of course not. By the way, side point of business, Alexis, we'll make sure your audio on this call is a little garbled, but I'll make sure your audio is okay on
I'm
what you're
so
recording.
sorry.
No, it's all good.
I think it should be fine.
I trust Curtis.
Okay. I think it should be fine. I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. We'll go back into it. When I was curious, Alexis, I noticed before, and we're going to get to a moment when we meet Annie. Early on, Annie's on the bus, and Annie's chewing gum.
She is chewing gum, and she uses it to get out of a sticky situation.
Because she's being hit on, right? I believe.
She's being hit on. I think she just doesn't want to converse. Like how the people in the elevator were conversing, because that's what you do. She didn't want to do that. She didn't want to be there on the bus. She just wants her car back.
Right.
So she can speed around town.
That's right. I love the detail we'll learn later that she lost her car because she was speedy. That's fantastic. Annie's character, really the star of this movie.
And I feel like it probably went from kind of a minor character to being the main side just because she's so good and so perfect.
Yeah, I was reading a little bit of a oral history of the side characters on the bus. We only get little tastes of them, but then we talk about their characters, and it's interesting. They were all sharing stories that in earlier drafts of the script, I'm assuming this is before the Whedon rewrites, that they all had much more in the script. That there was much more of like them all putting their heads together, which I definitely see the merit in it. The younger,
a little, like Poseidon vibes.
Yeah, the younger,
adventure.
Yeah, the younger white kid who had that kind of like Ryder Strong haircut. I'm trying to remember his name. He's on the bus barely. He's like kind of an angry kid, and he mentions as the actor that his character was originally the one who's like, oh, he's an aspiring film student, and he helps Jack and Annie override the video feed to trick Dennis Hopper later.
Ooh.
So much more like them all being like, we're all part of a crew, and then in the rewrites they kept getting pushed back into like, well, there's just the woman who misses her kids and she's going to risk her life to get back to her kid. Like, just much more condensed down.
I love that. There is actually, not to promote another podcast, but there's a podcast called I Was There Too.
Oh, I love I Was There Too. Matt Gorley, huge fan of his stuff.
Yeah. Darby's husband told me about it, Curtis, and I listened to, because there's 3 episodes where they have 3 different people on the bus from Speed.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they all talk about it, and I don't remember exactly who, but it was like one of the girls in the very back of the bus that wasn't super involved. But it was just
Keanu's already killed Dennis Hopper. We're all done, Darby. We can wrap it up here.
Oh my God! Thank you so much for having us. I tried to speed. Okay, go ahead.
No, Alexis, you were saying about the background characters in the bus.
It's just so interesting. Yeah. And I think the whole thing came together. I don't know if I heard this on there or something, but I think the whole movie came together pretty quickly because there was that highway that was just about to be finished. And they were like, well, we got to film this now on that highway.
Yeah. The 105, the real highway was just open for construction. This movie probably wouldn't have been able to be made in another period of time, or much more cheated in what they're doing for it.
Oh,
there's some cute stories about the crew on the 105 between breaks, and that they had 300 cars, all stunt drivers, all coordinated on a local radio station to coordinate how many times they needed to reset and do the drive. And like, all right, now we're going to go back to ones. All right, Keanu's leaning out the window again. It's never would probably be able to do that in LA again.
No, never.
Filming. Well, they did it with La La Land, right?
You know, it's right. But how much? I was just curious how much that was real versus like this one corner is blocked off and the rest is After Effects. I do remember La La Land. Yeah,
that was a very busy corner. Okay.
Yeah.
It took weeks for our economy to bounce back.
That was the traffic apocalypse that happened a couple years ago.
For sure. Yeah. We weren't even here yet. Sandra Bullock did have to learn to drive the bus.
I saw that.
Before production.
That's exciting.
And she did drive. I think she did drive it in some of the shots. It was actually her driving.
Which is fantastic. I love the commitment to it. Yeah, I read that the stunts, that when it wasn't her, there was either a man in the second or third row with a little wheel driving it, or someone on top of the bus, a la... Do you ever see those old Mr. Bean sketches where he had like a chair on top of the car?
Why did I know exactly where you were going? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I think
yes.
that's kind of how the stunt driver was operating this bus.
So just
So
picture
fun.
it. Next time you watch Speed, picture Mr. Bean sitting on top of the bus, driving. It adds a whole new element of suspense.
Driving, muttering, I don't like this woke culture. I stole Jamie Acaster's girlfriend. You know, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Poor James A.
I think about that all the time. How much weird that would be to lose a love of your life to Mr. Bean. That's got to be fantastic.
It's okay. I have to say this to you right here, right now. As I've aged, I'm the elder here.
Yeah.
And as I've aged, I've cared less and less about people's looks and more about how funny they are. And Mr. Bean can get it. And the lesbian in Costa Rica who runs all of our social media, hi Paula, her dad looks like the Costa Rican version of Mr. Bean.
Oh.
And I will be in Costa Rica in a couple weeks. And I don't think my marriage counts down there. So I'm just saying we may have an update soon. I might be driving on top of a bus, if you know what I mean.
Okay, all
Anyway,
right.
go ahead, Speed.
We got to get on this bus plot-wise. Let's get this on the road. So the bomb in the elevator has been both exploded, and Keanu and Jeff Daniels have jury-rigged a pulley system of some
that
sort.
works for a little bit, but they also are able to get all those people off. Even that one lady who is very scared.
Oh, what a coward.
Wait, we're all getting... Oh, we're elevator again. I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, we're back on the
Apologies.
elevator. Yeah, we're back on the elevator. This is not the most professional podcast ever. You all have gotten tricked.
Oh, we're not professional at all.
We will leave a really weird review.
That's fine.
It'll be 3 stars. Don't worry.
Just
it's
to have
not
a
gonna be
review at all
crazy.
means a lot. That's fantastic.
Chad.
Wait, let me
anytime.
see if I can get to the bus, hitting all the main points quickly.
Okay, yes, yeah. So what did we learn from Jack from this? I think that he is willing to sacrifice people, right? He says, like, I will shoot a hostage, a non-kill shot to get the terrorist if I need to. And he likes saying pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Oh, he does say pop quiz.
The terrorist likes to say pop quiz.
Well, also...
Jack starts.
Yeah, this is a small plot hole, Alexis,
That's true.
Keanu and Harry are kind of doing like a pop quiz. What do you do? So presumably Dennis Hopper's character hears them say that, or it's just insane that he also says pop quiz, but he didn't hear the rest of their conversation.
There's a lot of words we don't say anymore that they said back then.
Maybe
pop
it was just
quiz
a common
is just
thing.
one of them.
Yeah.
Like what's up? Yeah.
No, that is true. He does get it from them. Yeah.
But he takes it. It's fine. He didn't hear all the other stuff about Keanu and the hostage, but
That's okay.
Dennis Hopper's been hiding out in an elevator next alongside of it. I think it's a little creepy. I think it's a little spooky that he's just hanging out ready to hear these people fall and die, you know?
I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, but it's how they help. It's how they know how to catch him, because they're like, wait, these radio waves aren't going fast. He's in a building or whatever. Yeah.
It's a mini movie climax, but you know, Hopper gets away.
Hopper does get away.
But we don't know that he gets away.
Well, they don't know.
Whoa.
Just going back 1 second, there is a woman, when they're pulling all the people off, she loses one of her shoes in that elevator just before it drops and explodes.
That's all her fault.
And I have never, I think about this all the time, being without your shoes, but also just one shoe would be so uncomfortable.
Well, think about Darby.
It's probably the worst part of
movie.
her day.
Yeah, Jack McClane didn't have his shoes.
Bare feet, baby. I do have a Jack McClane Funko Pop as well, and he is barefoot, and I have sucked on those toes.
Who's Jack McClane? Oh, Die Hard. Okay.
Yeah.
John McClane. Before we get the comments, John McClane.
John, sorry. Listen, the woman who lost her shoe, I'm glad. She deserved it, because everyone's getting off the elevator, and they're taking all this extra time to be like, come on, you can get off the elevator. Come on. Like, bitch, I would have let her die. I'd say, give me your shoes. I'll at least take those. And then when you see, sorry, Alexis, I'm not hating on this movie, but when you see her legs like get pulled out real quick before everything drops, they're clearly mannequin legs. And that is so funny. That's so funny.
There's nothing you can say, no plot hole you can point out to make me not love this movie. I'm obsessed with this movie.
Oh, and thank you, Alexis. We'll take that note. And Chad, remember all the like anti-trans stuff that Jack said, like all throughout the movie?
Stop it. No.
Oh, sorry. I was just testing it. I was just testing. Just testing.
Like, you know, Harry, pop quiz. How many genders are there?
Two.
Two.
I think he probably, okay, let's think about this. Now that you brought it up, I don't think Jack would care. I think he would still probably save the trans person if she were on the bus. If there was a trans person on the bus, I think he would probably not care. And he would just
happily
be there to
sacrifice
save everybody.
her. And he would happily sacrifice her as well. No.
He
I'm
wouldn't.
saying I agree with what Chad said earlier, that I think he's reckless.
I think Jack the character is reckless.
Asks for apologies and he doesn't ask for permission.
Yeah. But I agree with you entirely. I'm trying a hard time separating Jack and Annie from real world Keanu Reeves, who I think would lie down for and sacrifice himself for a trans person.
For anybody.
I think Sandra Bullock, maybe not. Maybe not.
Chad, I'll have you. Don't you dare talk negatively about Oscar-winning actress Sandra Bullock. Okay, she won an Oscar for helping a young poor black boy play football.
Who that real life guy was like, that had nothing to do with my life or whatever. He was like, I was bought and sold by a family.
Okay, let me tell you this. I am from Germantown, Tennessee, which is where it's set and where it happened.
Oh.
And it happened in the private, like, Christian school that, like, we couldn't afford because we were lower middle class, but we pretended to be upper middle class, which is why my dad lost our house when I was in college. Wow. And the pride that Germantown, Tennessee felt when The Blind Side came out. And listen, I'm not throwing stones. I myself included. I was like, what a beautiful story. Wow. Germantown we did it.
I love it's called Germantown. That's so funny. It's
one of the suburbs of one of the most segreid cities in America.
It's like Whitehaven. Yeah,
it's horrible. Yeah. Whitehaven, Mississippi. You ever been there?
I've been to Whitehavens, not Whitehaven, Mississippi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that is a city, and they still call it that, and it's just across the Tennessee line.
I can relate to you, Darby, in that I mentioned before I was from South Bend, which is Notre Dame, and the movie
Go Irish.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the
you're
thing?
right. That is they're the Irish. I'm not.
They just say Go Irish.
Go Irish.
They don't say
God.
like
Go Christian God, Catholic God.
Oh, I love.
Well,
her.
they don't say Go Cougars, which is from Arizona, which is where Annie went.
Annie, you're trying to bring us back. You're bringing us back.
And she has that on her sweater,
Alexis,
which
you're
we
doing a better
find out
job
about
hosting
later.
this show than I am. I just want to tell. I'm
going to turn my mic off. I'm so sorry, Alexis. I'm
Darby,
so sorry.
I will share. I can relate to you in The Blind Side. That so South Bend, we have Notre Dame, and our movie claim to fame is Rudy, starring Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Oh, that
about the punter. That I'll tell you, the real life Rudy still lives in South Bend. Just a real POS. Just like goes to the bars, like, I'm Rudy, buy me a drink. It was like, oh no, what have we done? I bet there's some
work on me.
Yeah,
that would
punter
work on
of
me.
Shit. My big hometown movie was Friday Night Lights. They filmed some of those things in the whatever sports place where they play football at my high school.
The theater, the outdoor theater.
At least this might be another one. I've been exploring like things that I've believed my whole life, and then upon reflection, like maybe I made that up and just accepted it as fact.
Tell him
Because
the thing that you made up and accepted as fact for a long time about your parents at night.
I used to think once you had kids, you didn't sleep anymore.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because my mom was always asleep when I went to bed, and then she was always awake when I went to bed, and then she was always awake when I got up. So I was like, "What is she doing in the middle of there?"
Like when it comes out with all the amniotic fluid or whatever is just like your ability to sleep.
I was
you just don't need it anymore.
But I also knew that after 9 p.m. we don't mess with mommy anymore because there was like regular mom, and then there was after 9 p.m. mom, where she was just really like annoyed.
That's very scary. That's what that board game Don't Wake Daddy is about.
No,
right?
she's so sweet and wonderful.
Daddy.
She just couldn't handle it. Okay, so they've saved all the people. They get medals. They think the bad guy's dead. Jack is in Santa Monica getting a muffin and a coffee. He is friends with everyone. Everyone knows his name. Everyone loves him. All of a sudden,
it's because we didn't have
getting
phones.
his muffin and his coffee, puts his coffee on the top of his Jeep.
Yeah.
And then the bus driver, who he also was getting coffee, and he
also knows him somehow.
He knew everyone in the community, even though the community is Los Angeles.
It's so important for cops to connect with the community they work in.
The bus explodes. He's sad about that. Then a nearby payphone rings.
And he's
And
like,
he
this is
picks
for
it
me.
up.
I know this is for me. Like, he already has a
Okay,
feeling.
wait, that happened a lot, though. Okay, as someone who has
Back
watched
then,
every episode of Murder, She Wrote, that would happen a lot. People would just call a payphone, and they'd be like, they're around there. It'll find them.
There wasn't cell phones, so he picks it up. It's Dennis Hopper, and Dennis Hopper says, "Pop quiz. There's a bomb on a bus. What do you do?" And he said,
and Jack's like, I know, it just blew up. He's like, no, there's another bomb on a bus.
No, Jack said, "I want to know what bus." And he's like, "You think I'm going to tell you that?" And Jack's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Good boy, Jack." That also did something to me.
Yeah,
as a child.
I think Dennis Hopper in this calls himself Daddy a couple times.
Yeah, he does.
I do it. I get it.
He gets the bus number. What is it? No.
Oh, I know. I should look. This is
2424 or 2525. It's like a repeat, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. It's on the top of the bus. What are you doing, Darby? Oh, are you throwing Cheerios?
Oh, I'm throwing Cheerios for the dog to keep her busy.
Oh, that's really cute. What kind of dog you got, by the way, Darby? Not to do.
She's her name is JB Fetcher, after JB Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote. That is true. She's like a pit bull. She's a pit bull terrier mix. Awesome. She's the cutest dog in the entire world, and she doesn't bark ever.
She's so sweet. She's really so sweet.
Unless you're another dog, and then she will rip your face off.
Yeah. Just like Jack in Speed. He gets the location of the bus.
I've learned so many. I've done 195 episodes of the show. I'm learning so much from you, Alexis.
195?
Yeah, we did about like 150 on Goosebumps before we were like, we can't do this anymore. We can't. This is too much.
Oh, when are you going to hang it up? Jesus Christ.
Well, Chad, I do want to say that I noticed you do episodes of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes, we just started doing those, actually. We just finally, yes. Those. I say we, the royal we. Yeah.
I love those.
Have you done the Nev Campbell one?
Yes, we just watched the Tale of the Dangerous Soup.
With the soup. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite. Nev Campbell, I'm pretty sure that's what got her Scream. Another favorite from the 90s.
Yes, it's before she was famous, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Have you ever done Salute Your Shorts?
We did Zeke the Plumber episode.
Zeke the Plumber, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
We've done that. There's more to go though. I could always if I can trick you all to coming back again, we got more to cover.
We will come back and I'll have a proper mic this time. My connector, I accidentally gave to Darby
me, and I didn't
realize until it was too late. So that's why I'm on my ear pod. So I'm very sorry to your listeners.
It's totally worth it, Alexis. Totally worth it.
Thank you so much.
So Jack is just like in his Bronco. Oh, by the way, that is
by
bizarre.
the way, he leaves the coffee on top of the Bronco. He never gets.
I didn't think about the coffee on the. Oh,
is it a white Bronco?
It is a light Bronco.
Oh, it's a Jeep.
It's like a 4x4 type car.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Enough that I looked it up. This movie came out a week before the O.J. Simpson murders. And God. Another high-speed chase.
I'm sorry, what did you say? You said the O.J. Simpson murders? O.J. Simpson didn't commit any murders.
O.J.
was found not guilty.
I saw the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. I know. Yeah, that's yeah.
The day he died, I found out on my way to Disneyland. I don't know what that means,
but
it
Simpson
felt
dead?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, good.
O.J. Simpson?
O.J. Simpson's dead, baby. I found out on my way to Disneyland.
Wait. Are you thinking of Michael Jackson?
No, I moved to Chicago on Michael Jackson's death. I think I only do.
Oh yeah, he died last year, April.
Yes.
We just no one cared about his death. I guess we all just moved on.
I did. I went to Disneyland for
it. Did it ruin Disneyland for you?
I'll never forget when they read his trial of not guilty. The news was showing like people following the trial all over the world, and on my news channel, the lady in the front, she had the wildest reaction. I know this isn't visual, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Yeah. This is what she did when she heard that O.J. Simpson was. This is a woman who didn't live in LA and didn't know these people. I'm assuming this is what she did when she heard he was not guilty. Like okay. She had her moment and she was taking it.
Sure, we didn't know those people, but I want to let listeners, I want you to know before internet, okay, that trial was
Trials.
the
Yeah.
only thing we saw and we talked about because we didn't
Appointment
know.
television.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, I was in seventh grade. Mrs. Lambert wouldn't let us watch the verdict. And may she rot in hell. I know she's dead, you
missed out.
bitch.
Yeah.
She's a fucking bitch and she's burning.
With OJ.
Anyway, but everyone else is watching it. And when the verdict happened in a middle school, screams. The whole building screamed. What am I doing? Taking a test on France. Fuck you, Mrs. Lambert.
Yeah.
I think you missed out on that one.
did.
But yeah, this is just a strange cultural overlap that there's a sequence of Keanu's Jack driving a Bronco type car down through LA
Oh yeah.
at the same time.
That's
Cops are
crazy.
The best line from that scene, though, was Chris Hopper. Am I saying that right?
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis
Dennis.
Whose character's name is Howard Payne, if anyone wants to know. Howard Payne.
Okay, so I was really wrong. Okay, so
Because
Dennis
he brings
Payne.
the pain. Oh.
Dennis Hopper. So Jack runs to the bus that's already exploded. So there's nothing he can do. He runs to the bus and is like, and then the phone rings. He answers it and he's like, "You think if you gather up all his teeth, you can put the bus driver back together?" Is that a plot point we need to explore? Is that possible in the Speed universe?
No, maybe that's the
That would
one
be
rule of
amazing.
the slightly different. If you gather all the teeth, you can be reborn.
All the teeth. And see, Alexis and I don't have all our teeth, so we're fucked. When we're dead, we're dead.
My favorite part of that bus blowing up scene was also just there was something about like that bus is so clearly gone, and Keanu's kind of like, oh, maybe he's in there, maybe he's. I was like, your friend the bus driver.
He's always running towards the action when he maybe should not.
Because he's
eventually
reckless.
It doesn't work out with him and Annie. Spoiler alert. But listen.
Well, listen. Yes.
I want to get to Annie.
Oh, are you talking about Speed 2 spoilers?
Cruise
Alexis?
Control? Yeah,
I'm curious. Okay.
She showed it to me for the first time.
We just watched it
last
recently,
week,
actually.
2 weeks
ago.
ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It's a tough watch.
I do want to
Fun.
ask you about
Fun.
after we finish the Speed.
Okay.
One. Yes.
All right. So this has happened, I think before this, we see Sandra Bullock running to catch the bus. She's like, Sam. Also, who knew the bus driver's name? I guess if you're doing it every day, and if it's
they didn't have internet or phones.
I took the bus in Hollywood. I guarantee you that I never knew anyone's name. And
is it the same person every time? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so she gets in. Sam lets her in. He's like, put out that cigarette, and she's like, okay. She gets in. Oh, and that's when she does the gum thing. And I love her line read of this. She doesn't want Ferris Bueller to talk to her anymore, and so she takes her gum out and she goes, "You know what? I got gum on my seat. Gum." Goes in. It's so good.
I read that was an improvised line by Sandra Bullock. The whole gum thing.
This is what I'm saying.
Wait, what was the original line?
It was probably just her, just like.
Well, improvised means maybe there wasn't a line there, or maybe it was
she just got up and left.
I don't know.
Oh, sure.
Well, we don't know.
Yeah.
We have to ask Joss Whedon, but I'm not talking to him right now.
I'm not talking to her. Yeah.
If I were writing it, I would have the line be, "Oh my God, Beth Grant," because that would give you a reason to get up and go sit down next to Beth Grant.
I'm trying, which is what she does. Which is absolutely what she does.
I know Beth Grant most from Donnie Darko. I don't know what you all know her most
Take
from.
it, Darby. This is Darby's moment to shine. My speed is Darby to Beth Grant.
Oh.
I love Beth Grant. Okay, here's something you need to know, straight allies. There are gay stereotypes that some of us lean a little too hard into. And one of those, for me, is character actresses. Margot Martindale, Ann Dowd, Beth Grant. Like that, I could watch them do anything and everything. Now, my introduction to Beth Grant, I am from Memphis, Tennessee, so I have known a lot of Beth Grants in my time. But my intro to her was Sordid Lives, which is that gay... Have you ever seen Sordid Lives?
I'm not familiar, no.
Oh,
You and
it's
Heidi
like
gotta watch it.
It's Rue McClanahan, Beth Grant, Olivia Newton-John plays like a country singer. But it's written by this guy, and it's about him coming out, his coming out story in like a very southern town. And Beth Grant plays just this old woman in a trailer, and she's trying to quit smoking, so she puts a she put a rubber band around her wrist, and so whenever she wants to smoke, she just goes,
Oh, I've heard that reference before. Yeah.
Yep, that's Beth Grant. And then she was on the Mindy Project.
Tu Wong
Obviously,
Fu,
Donnie Darko.
right?
Tu Wong
Tu Wong
Fu.
Fu.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
What else? She's been in like so much. The Rookie.
Just a great character actor, for sure.
Incredible character actor. Did I just turn my camera off?
Yeah, I figured that was intentional. I figured you just wanted to, like, you know.
Yeah, I suddenly was like, once I got talking about Beth Grant, I got very nervous. I just love Beth Grant. I don't think that there are a lot of successful actors who have such a distinct Southern accent. I think the fact that she's had such a long career with her accent is gorgeous. I'm just a huge fan.
No, and she just crushes. I doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion. It's just so good.
Donnie Darko for sure.
Ugh.
Wait, I'm curious as to what my thing is. I mean, maybe it's just speed, but
what do you mean your thing?
Like what my Beth Grant entrance is.
Okay. In terms of a character actor that you just have a very fondness for.
Yeah.
I think my immediate would go to is a weird one is Ben Foster. I have a soft spot for Ben Foster.
Oh my God, I love Ben Foster. Did you ever watch, speaking of Die Hard, Bruce Willis movie?
I'm so sorry.
The Bruce Willis movie Hostage?
Oh, yeah.
No, I never did. Is he in that one?
He is so scary in that one. Yes.
He's most recently known from like what was that Western one with Chris Pine? Not Eastbound and Down. But I think of like 3:10 to Yuma, 30 Days of Night.
30 Days of Night is so good. I love that one.
I love him in that.
You need to watch Hostage. I think it flew under the radar, but it's a really good movie, and I think it's also LA, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, all right. It's good that LA is finally given some time to shine in these movies.
I know. Okay, so now we're at the part where Keanu he's approaching the bus.
Yes.
There's traffic, there's construction. He gets out of his car, which seems weird.
I didn't understand that thought process. It felt like
I think he was like
it was blocked by that semi truck.
Blocking, and he couldn't get over, so he was, and it was going slow. It was bottlenecked, so I think he was trying to catch it.
Yeah.
But the bus driver was just doing his job. His name's Sam, fabulous actor.
He broke the window immediately.
Person.
Yeah.
I know, because he was like, you on this. No, you're crazy.
That was apparently a real accident that they decided to keep in. Keanu Reeves was just that strong, breaking the window.
I love happy movie accidents. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I apologize. Go.
No. I'm obsessed with the way this film is done. It's like, it's all about the action.
Yes.
And it's maybe not so much, I think whoever helped with the lines and the dialogue, because the dialogue I think is fine, great. But I just love that it's just like, go. We're not explaining anything.
Yeah.
There's a little setup. Anyways, then he finds that one guy and he's like the convertible guy.
Oh,
I love convertible guy.
Glenn Plummer from Showgirls, the failed lovers from Showgirls.
Yes. He's
never seen Showgirls.
Darby, I mean, maybe Alexis, you feel different. I think it's a movie that tried something and totally failed, but
no, I hear it's like
your
camp.
type of
I know.
movie.
You know what it was is when it came out, like, and we were so young, and it was this like really taboo thing, and she was the first Saved by the Bell person to do something so like scandalous, and I couldn't look at Elizabeth Berkley that way. I just couldn't. Jessie Spano stripping.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll take caffeine pills. That's as far as she takes it. Okay,
but to go to Las Vegas and strip, I had the same thing where the dad from Dharma and Greg is like the shady manager in that, and he's like, "Show me your tits," and I was like, "Oh, Dharma's dad, you can't do that."
Oh my God,
you know Dharma's dad.
Darby, we're watching it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Alexa, when you show it to Darby, please, if you can, find the VH1 cable version of it, because they used to play it on VH1 all the time, but since there's so much nudity, they paint bras on all of the girls. There's like this really unsettling like MS Paint on every frame over all of them. It's so weird.
Gradient.
That's great.
Yeah.
Gradient.
I love it. I love this little note when Keanu is telling, what's his name, Christopher Plummer?
That's another actor. Glenn Plummer.
He's telling him to get out of. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. He's telling Glenn Plummer to get out of the car, and Glenn Plummer's like, no, man, this is my car. I paid for it. Because, like, we all know cops and their assumptions about black people.
Yep.
I just liked that little note. And then he's like, I know, get the fuck out of the car, move over. And so he moves over and he gets in the car and now he's involved in it.
This is a really progressive movie, if you think about it, because
I
we
feel
saw
like
a
it
cop,
is.
an LA cop, not immediately shoot the black man. Instead,
Yeah.
said just scoot over.
Yeah.
That's some liberal propaganda. Wow.
Makes Glenn write a sign. That says "bomb on bus."
Bomb on bus.
I feel like he should have added the phrase "don't slow down," but
That seemed very important. That seems like very, very important.
You would think. And they're just matching speed. So they realize while he's in Glenn Plummer's car that it's going over 50. So he's like, fuck, don't slow down. Don't slow down.
Okay,
And
I
then he's
have a
like, do
way.
you have insurance?
Sorry.
And he's like, yeah. And he knocks the door up. I just love this part.
that's a great
Go
sequence.
I have a way that this entire movie would have ended earlier. I think I had this thought today. I just watched it, Chad, because it has been a while. Okay, so he gets out. Keanu gets out of his car, is running towards the bus. He gets close, but not quite there. And the bus is not at 50 miles per hour yet because he's running next to it.
Yeah. Keanu can only run like 35 at top speed.
Tops. And that is his prime, baby. But, like, you have a gun, because I know you do, because you pointed it at a black man. Thank you for not using it. Why not shoot the tires of the bus so that the bus has to stop?
Okay, listen. So I agree with you. There is an article on mental floss. That's 15 things about speed. I looked it up before we started.
Okay.
Janet Maslin of the New York Times wrote in her review of Speed that Jack could have simply shot out the bus tires before it reached 50 miles per hour and armed the bomb. Yost, the main writer, said he didn't think of that when he wrote the script. If he had, he would have had the Jaguar driver hit Jack before he got a chance to shoot the tires, not realizing he was a cop.
That's fine too. He already thought it through.
But it's so funny that you came to that on your own.
Yeah. Darby, you do seem very much like, well, just shoot the tires. You're thinking like Jack. Just shoot the hostage.
Listen, I'm a car guy, okay? I know what makes them go, and I know what makes them stop. And if you shoot the tires out, guess what? The car's not going vroom vroom.
We all know wheels in the bus go round and round. We all know.
Exactly, and if they don't got wheels, the bus goes nothing.
I read there was an earlier draft of this script. I would love to see this version where the bus could never go more than 20 miles per hour. Like
what?
that was the earlier. I think because they said they wanted Jack to be able to run alongside the bus
the whole time.
So I think there was like
an hour and a half.
Where it's a slow cruising speed. Slow down. All right, now hand me the baby.
Wow. Hand me Beth Grant.
Yeah.
God, baby, can we go a little further? And
you're driving this bus, Alexis. You're the one that's keeping us on track. You tell us what to do.
I'm Annie. You're Jack at this point. You just got to tell me.
Beth Grant before the death.
Let's do some broad strokes. Jack finally gets on the bus. He's finally able to tell Sam what's going on. There's a guy in the back of the bus who thinks, "Uh-oh, this cop is here for me." So he takes his gun out, and Jack's like, "I don't care what your crime is. I'm not here for you." But he's not wanting to scare all these people, much like he didn't want to scare the elevator people.
Can you say what he says to the guy? It's so funny. He's like, "I don't care what you did, man.
I'm not here for you." Wait, he's like,
I don't care about
I know you know this.
Whatever you did,
I don't care what you did. I'm not here.
He's like, I don't care
whatever
what you did.
You crime.
I'm sure
whatever
you're
crime
sorry.
You did, I'm sure you're sorry. Yes.
Can you imagine a cop holding a gun saying, "Listen,
and he's like,
I'm sure you're sorry, so we're all good now."
And he's like, "I'm not a cop," but then some other guy who's also everyone's trying to do the right thing except for the guy who did a bad thing.
Yeah.
He what did they call him later? Honcho, Pinto, something.
Oh, this is a big Gigantor.
Ortiz.
Yeah.
His name is Ortiz, but they call him Gigantor, I think. Gigantor, he goes for the guy with the gun. The gun goes off. It shoots Sam. Sam starts slowing down. Chaos ensues. Keanu handcuffs the guy that shot Sam. That's when Annie steps in, and Annie moves Sam's foot and takes his place.
The sexual tension as they're kind of playing footsie as she sits down in the
This
driver's
is so
seat.
good. And finally, Jack is able to communicate. No, do not go below 50. Stay above 50. And she's like, what? What the fuck? This is crazy. And he's like, there's a bomb on the bus. And then it gets real quiet.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the movie.
Good job.
That's pretty much the
Thank
movie.
Thank you, Alexis. Sorry.
Annie
We're
does
really
some-
sorry. Chad and I
Annie
apologize.
does some driving. I wanted to get to the baby part. I wanted to get to the baby part because while they're figuring it out, there's one part where they're not yet on the highway.
Yes,
she's driving somewhere. She's going, and there's a woman pushing a pram, an old, almost Victorian pram, across the street. And the way she does it too, she like moves, puts all her body into it. She's going. Annie hits the baby pram, and the camera goes jaw style, all close on her face, and she starts freaking out. She thinks she's just murdered a baby. Something
the pram launches into the air.
In this country, the pram launches into the air, but then Keanu Reeves, cans.
It's filled with cans.
And she's freaking out. She's so cute when she's freaking out.
I had remembered that scene being much more of a stereotypical looking homeless person pushing cans. That was just like a well-dressed,
nice lady.
A well-dressed lady just had a baby
Not that
carriage
homeless
full of
people
cans.
can't be nice looking.
No, yeah.
But,
well, actually, a thought is occurring to me now. When I first moved here, the dumpster was in the front of my apartment building.
You had to walk past an open dumpster to get to her door.
Yeah, and I would often find people. Actually, you had to watch in between two dumpsters.
Yeah, you did.
There would always be people going through trying to get cans and stuff. I think it's a thing here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, or maybe she stopped by the 99-cent store and there was like a sale on beans and she's just like, I'm getting all these beans.
No, they were definitely empty soda cans.
Yeah, they flew really far.
Never mind.
Beans are
they
heavy.
Were pretty.
They're dense.
I'm just realizing in Twister, they also utilize soda cans. Same
with Dorothy
director.
and the, right? With
Jan de Bont. Yeah. Maybe he got that idea of filming Speed.
He just sees, that's his visual hallmark. J.J. Abrams loves like a lens flare. Shane Black loves a Christmas tree. Yeah. DeBont just loves cans.
I would love to see him work that. Oh, he doesn't do movies anymore. I was going to say, I'd love to see him work it into a Western.
Oh,
like soda cans.
Yeah. Well, I am worried that he was hard to deal with because there have been very cryptic rumors and stories throughout the years about like him being tough. But I think it's because he's not initially a director. He was like a cinematographer.
Yeah.
I think he had.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off, Alex. I just realized I'm looking at this. My blood just went cold. I realized he also worked on. Do you guys know the movie Roar?
I'm gonna Google
the one that just came out.
No. This is a 1981 movie. Y'all gotta see Roar. It is.
Is this the movie that Katy Perry based her song off of?
Yeah.
Okay,
all those lyrics about.
That's what I thought.
Roar is this is side tangent is based on Noel Marshall, I think, who was like a producer on the Godfather, had a bunch of money, made a movie about his real life L.A. ranch where he had made. I wouldn't call it a comedy by any means. It is a horror movie where it is about like, I've adopted all these wild tigers, and it is about my family, real life family as characters living on it. And the camera crew is just footage of these real life tigers that are not tamed whatsoever, just attacking the family. Tippi Hedren, Melanie Griffith. Crazy. Melanie Griffith had her face ripped off in real life.
Oh my God.
By one of the lions in this. It is a horrifying movie to watch. Yeah.
Oh my God, I am the dumbest gay guy in the world to not realize that Tippi Hedren is Melanie Griffith's mom.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot.
They all lived on this ranch. It's okay. Well, you wouldn't know because
wasn't
the
this
lion
based
took our
on
face.
a real family? Like, didn't Hold On for One More Day? Didn't her?
Casey Wilson. What's her name? Carney Wilson. Carney.
Didn't her family have tiger lions or something?
Oh, maybe too. This was just very much this rich LA guy was like, I have wild tigers. I think we can make a movie out of it. And it is just a secret documentary about the horror. You have like the family like hiding in cabinets while these lions are just roaming around. He's in
Jurassic
it as
Park.
Jodie
Foster got attacked by a lion in a movie she did. I wonder if that was that.
But apparently, John DeBont was editor and cinematography on this, so he saw all of this happening this whole time.
Yeah. This is why I never work with children or animals.
I agree.
Or Carney Wilson. Did you know that? Did you know that Charles Manson wanted to be a Beach Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, is that why he broke into the house? Right?
Yeah.
That's why this all started, because he wanted to do music for the Beach Boys, and I guess their manager didn't want to.
No, all the other Beach Boys hated him. He moved in with one of them.
I think it was Brian Wilson's house.
With Brian Wilson, Carney Wilson's dad, and the entire thingy. What do you call him? Cult. They all moved in too, and then things got really weird. And he was really trying to make Charles Manson one of the Beach Boys, and the rest of the Beach Boys were like, "That guy is crazy." And then it turns out they were all wrong. He was normal. It was just everyone around him wanted to kill him.
He was
Free
a
Charles
misunderstood
Manson.
guy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, hold on for one more day.
So Jane DeBont's speed is Jack is on the bus. We have Sam is bleeding out. The whole time, I kind of love the LA cops are really on this. They have mostly locked down the traffic. They got people up ahead clearing. This would never happen. I don't think this is the most unbelievable part of the movie.
Not today.
This much
for sure.
Infrastructure. Do
you watch police chases? Live police chases?
A few times, yeah. I used to live in Hollywood. There's some real good Hollywood ones.
They're my favorite. They're my favorite.
Now?
Say what, Alexis?
Where do you live now?
Oh, I live in Burbank. I really sold out and went down to the suburbs in Burbank.
Oh, fabulous.
You're Burbank. We're Studio City. We're so close.
Oh, I love Studio City.
Yeah.
We could have just been recording this in the same place.
We record our podcast. Our studio's in Burbank. Do you know our studio? Have you been there?
I have not. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to dox yourself and say where the studio is here.
We're with Studio 71. It's across the street from that shopping center that has airplanes everywhere with the Target and the Lowe's and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Empire Center.
Yeah, Empire. 800-588-2300 Empire today.
This is real deep LA cuts that the Goosebud listeners usually love getting into. The LA infrastructure that is supporting them. The cops have like a truck bed alongside, and they're running along the bus. They're giving Jack all the affirmative support in the world.
Yeah,
so sweet, bros.
Well,
bros
and they're
hoes.
not fully up on what's going on either, because they're like, all right, let's get these guys off, and he's like, I'm not allowed to get them off.
Yeah.
The people off the bus.
Alexis, watch your language. This is a Christian podcast. Talking about him not allowed to get people off. Keanu can get me off. I'll tell you that.
I also would be very honored.
Yeah, right? No one would turn down Keanu's hand job. Are you kidding? Did I call him Keanu?
Sorry, I just got distracted thinking about that.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's, you know what? Let's take a break and figure things out.
No, we can't take a break, because if the bus goes below 50, the boss.
This podcast stops. If this podcast goes over,
and if he gets no one can get off the bus. Can't stop the bus, and what are they going to do?
Okay, but can we talk about? Here's the thing. Here's my issue with Hooper. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopper. What'd I say? I don't think his character was very consistent. He seemed to have no problem in the world stabbing a guy in the side of the head with a screwdriver. He didn't even think twice about it, right? When that bus exploded, the first thing he did was call a payphone, okay? That's not normal. And now this bus, he's ready to kill all these people, and the bus driver gets shot, which, by the way, he asks 0 questions about. He asks 0 questions. He's like, what, Jack, the bus driver got shot? You shooting the people on the bus now? Mm-hmm. I gotta say, first of all, I would want to know how that happened. Secondly, he's like, you know what? I'll let you get him off the bus. You know what? I'll let you get him off the bus. And he says, well, Jack says, Jack says you will be able to get money easier because they'll think that you're a human. So blah, blah, blah. But that turns out later on in the movie, spoiler, it wasn't about the money at all anyway. It was about revenge.
It was kind of about the money, right? Because
it was kind of about the money, but I think
it was really about revenge.
It is more about revenge and also fucking with Jack.
Yes.
Because Jack threw a wrench in his plan earlier, so it's a little bit of both. It's like,
and what would fuck with Jack more than watching a man die on a speeding bus. That's what I'm saying. I don't
I
think he
think
would have
he's-
let him off the bus. And then
I'm
Beth
gonna
Grant
push
died.
back
For
here.
what? For
I'm going
what?
to push back here because I
Okay.
think it's more about he is just as long as he's in control of the variables, because now it's more like a study of what Jack is going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck up your day so hard. Yeah, I'll give you a little bit, but I'm still in charge here because I'm Dennis Hopper.
And I'm King Koopa. Yeah. No,
I think he'd let him die. I think he'd let him die.
Darby, you're making me realize too that not the movie very much is like Howard Payne, Dennis Hopper's character, is a mastermind. Early on, when he's talking to Jack before he gets on the bus, when he had his muffin, he's like, that stunt in the elevator took me 2 years to set up.
2 years.
And I was like,
2
2 years?
Yeah.
2 years.
Well, he had to invent the elevator first.
Oh. And he didn't have you know.
But that's what I'm saying.
Like I said,
he planned everything so intricately, right? And then in the middle of his plan, the bus driver gets shot. He doesn't know why, and he doesn't care to ask. That is so insane to me. If you're that controlling, wouldn't you?
He did ask. He said, "You shooting?"
He said, "Oh, you're shooting people," but he laughed. He didn't want the actual answer. He laughed.
But we find out later that he can see.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, we will realize later on he's got
saw
eyes.
what happened.
How?
He's got eyes in the bus.
How?
It's the same way he sees that Annie went to the University of Arizona and has a cougar on her shirt.
He's calling her Hellcat, right? And that's why he realized.
How did he see?
Because he had a camera up behind the mirror. There's no sound. That's the whole plot point of the end of the movie.
Okay, Chad, I have to be honest with you. I ran out of time. So there's 30 minutes left. I started the movie really late. Twice, though. Twice, though.
Anyway, to answer your question, he can see into. He doesn't have sound, so he can't hear about what's going on, but he can see, and that's a part of why they figure it out.
And they loop the footage. Okay, I'm
later. They loop the footage.
Before we realize the camera. Yeah, before we realize the camera, though, I think the major problem is that, like, there's the newscopters in the sky who can see this. If we offload it, Hopper's going to see. I feel like this is a small thing where, like, I feel like nowadays, speaking of LA, high-speed chases, you can see how the newscopters will cooperate with the cops, right? They are, like, full-on ratting out anyone who's chasing. Like, oh, hey, tell the cops down. We saw them. They're on this street.
Yeah.
Surprise.
That's why they always police chases, and it sucks as a fan of police chases myself. People know that the helicopters can't fly over the airport. They can't fly over that airspace. So there have been so many that they just end up going to the airport, and then we get nothing. And then the police chase just ends. You don't know what happened. That is so frustrating. Criminals, listen to me. I believe in you. I believe in your right to run.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
But I also believe in my right to watch.
You want a satisfying ending.
Yeah. I want I don't want a scary one. The Long Beach one that happened this week was really scary.
I didn't see that one.
My heart and soul. This guy stole a truck. Okay. He drives,
the flatbed.
Yes. And he just starts plowing through cars. It is so scary.
Oh, no, that's not good. Well, speaking of flatbeds, they do get Sam off the bus. And Beth Grant, she wants to get off too, even though they know the rules. Just the driver. Well, she doesn't really know. She tries anyway.
She's so close.
The policemen, they're trying to do their best. She gets a hand, and then he sees from the choppers what later we know he sees and then he blows her up. She goes under the wheels. It's a really sad moment for Annie.
He had a little prank bomb, like a little mini bomb that just took the lowest step out of the bus stairway to take her out.
Because he was always one step ahead. He knew they were going to try to do that.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I'm on his side.
I think you are. This is their turning point for Annie and Jack. This means it's real, and they are fucked.
They've now seen a lady die. They have now been bonded more now in blood because someone has died before them.
It's tough. And they also have to navigate the streets of LA, which funnily enough, one isn't finished. What's that up ahead? It's a break in the goddamn overpass. What are we going to do? Speed it up.
I think we wrap. I think he at least asks, how far is the distance? I guess he's doing the math in his head, but yeah, let's speed it up.
I love the guy in the truck,
Yeah,
though.
that's something cops are known for. Their brilliant minds.
Yeah, well, I love the one. I do love the one in the truck who notices that there's a gap up ahead. He's like, what does he say? He's like kind of screaming. He's like, oh, never mind.
He's like, my tax dollars pay for these roads to be done, and it's not done.
No,
I'm upset
it's
about
the
it.
other one. He's like, I should have watched it before I got it. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
No, you're killing it, Alexis.
This is the most iconic scene of the movie. And I feel like whenever someone makes fun of speed, they make fun of this scene. The ramping the bus. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, there's a little bit of a drop and a decline. We all know in our heart of hearts that bus ripped.
No.
No.
No, not at all.
Suspend your disbelief.
Yes.
For the
it also
didn't
just barely make it. It made it.
No, it like goes vertical. It goes like vertical upwards, as if angels came down from heaven to lift the bus up.
Angels in the outfield.
Yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful
Christopher
story.
Lloyd down there. He's like holding the bus up on his back. Yeah.
You guys, I went to put it on to see the part, and I have it queued up right because like I always love this part. Okay, let's hear him.
Take your time.
This freeway isn't finished.
That's what I say all the time when I'm driving on the highway.
The aerial unit got about 3 miles ahead. There's a section missing. I fucking love this guy.
They speed up. I love this. I love this, like, the cops kind of slowly peeling off, like, saluting him. Like, Jack, like, Godspeed, brave soldier. You know, getting everyone to hold on. He's unhandcuffing the gangbanger from before to give him the best chance to survive. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous sequence.
I felt so bad for the guy that shot the guy. What? Go ahead.
Last line from this guy, the one that I love the most, is the captain's like, it's finished on my map, it's finished. And then the guy goes, I guess they fell behind.
That's the real terrifying part of this movie is the lack of infrastructure in LA, right? Like
the 90s action movie acting is so brilliant. And the director is not just instructing the leads to dial it up. The director is instructing everyone with a five or less line. Like everyone needs to be above and beyond. I'm so sorry to take us to the past, but in that opening 30-minute elevator scene, no, it was later on in the movie. So Jeff Daniels is in the police station because
he's been trying to solve who the bomber is.
Yes, and so he's sitting there just talking out loud to the room, and there's one guy and a lady cop, and the lady cop is in the doorway, and he's like, no. We're not going to do that anymore. You need to go in the pensions. I know he's a pensioner, and I know he lives in L.A., and so he's taking money. Look in that. And they cut to the female cop, and she goes, well, I guess we're going to go. She has such
I guess fuck me for doing all this work before. Yeah.
To, like, flip through papers that she was already flipping through.
I do like this little bit of detective work, even though it doesn't actually get us, at least tells us about the character in the background, right? This kind of B story of, the bomber has mentioned pensioners and a gold watch, and now Jack notices when he gets to inspect the bomb that there's a gold watch used.
A cheesy gold watch.
Yeah, this is a guy who's a cop. He mentions things like, using the standard deployment flanking system, right? Like, this guy's a cop. He knows something. That's a fun little mystery. I think at this point we could just say the end of Harry's story around this is, we think we finally figured out who he is. We're going to his house. We're gonna
in Sun Valley.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
did anyone know that?
That's where Alexis.
That's where I used to live when I lived behind dumpsters. Yeah.
Technically, in between two dumpsters, you could say.
Two dumpsters.
It makes it sound like you didn't have a home; you just lived between the dumpsters like a cool little fort, which is also
by what I had as a home. No, but it was an apartment between two dumpsters. They go to a house in Sun Valley. I need to find where because it didn't look like Sun Valley. Sun Valley is flat and scorched.
It felt like Echo Park to me.
Yeah, but Jeff Daniels has talked about that moment. He did something with his face right before he realized that there's a bomb in there and he's about to die. He's talked about like raising his eyebrows or something, and then just when he knows it's the bomb, he just lowered them, and like that was like a moment
acting.
people still come up to him and talk about.
It's a
I'm
great
That
final
obsessed with
was
moment.
him.
sad. That was really sad.
It was really sad, but another devastating moment for Keanu Reeves because now his buddy,
Best
he's
friend.
alone. He's truly
And
alone.
no offense, Chad, but what does he do? What does a straight man do when his buddy dies in a bombed out house?
Suppress it.
He
He beats the
hits. He
dashboard.
beats the
Oh, yeah.
dashboard.
Yeah,
He
He
hits the
hits.
dashboard.
He hits.
Damn
Yeah.
it. Oh, that's right.
It was a
That's when
different
Annie's
time.
like,
Moment
please, you
for
got to
him
pull it
to
together.
connect.
We all need you
Yeah.
here.
But
Yeah.
it's a beautiful moment for him to connect with Annie. And I think she said in interviews that she actually, Sandra Bullock was crushing on Keanu Reeves.
Who
And I
wouldn't?
think you can definitely tell
At
that.
the end of that
chemistry.
movie, not to jump, at the end of the movie, when they're laying in the rubble and they're just kind of intertwined, how do you
Yeah.
not just fall in love right there, right? Like actors. I have a question for both of you. I have a question for you, Alexis and Darby, on in regards to the house blowing up. I read that the owners of that house were offered by the studio $5,000 to blow up their house.
What?
And then
To actually blow it up?
to actually blow up their house with the promise that the studio would rebuild it. Would you take $5,000 on top of
With a
rebuild your
promise?
house?
With
Yeah,
a
with a promise
promise?
from a
Hold
Hollywood
on.
studio.
Hold on. What's $5,000 in 1993?
I'll look at inflation. Probably $50,000. You know,
Because that's probably like a full year's rent back
it's
then.
true. It's true.
Oh, Girly Pop. Wait. Oh, never mind. It was filmed in a house in Playa del Rey. So nowhere near us.
PDR, yeah.
Okay.
Bummer.
It would be. I'll tell you, Alexis. It says right now, same item would cost around $9,700.
So
about 10
yeah,
grand. Let's say 10
almost
grand.
10.
10 grand.
I mean, I would do it.
You let them blow up
Okay.
your house?
I'm so
It's like
sorry,
when they
y'all.
rebuilt it, I wonder.
I'm sorry. I'm back.
What's
I was
wrong with you?
Okay, I searched house blown up to find out like where it was, and then I came across a video of a house blowing up. And
Oh,
it was
no.
so loud. I'm sorry, but it did blow up and 5 people died.
Oh, that's sad. Did they rebuild the house to be like better or just the same? I wonder.
I think they built it like with hope.
Yeah.
Also, here's my questions. If that were me, it's like, can I meet the stars of the movie?
Yes.
Can I be in the movie?
Yes.
Where am I going to live while you're building my house? You
Yes.
cover all those things. Also, can I get in on craft services? Yeah,
Oh,
you can
that's
my
where you
house.
get your real value from. Yeah, the daily. Because I'd be worried that they're like, yeah, we'll rebuild the house, and then they just bring in some set people to like put up 4 walls and just yeah, you're good.
I would get a lawyer involved, and I would make them pay the lawyer fees to figure that out because I just don't trust anyone to say I promise to build it back. If anything, if you say I'll give you $5,000 and then I promise, that to me sounds like you're already out. You're like,
Yeah.
I gave you cash, I'm out.
That was
I wouldn't
that
do
was
it.
what they did. I'm just always I don't watch too much of those remodeling shows, but I see so many stories of like, oh, the crew came in and what looked like a really
Yeah.
nice bathroom was just kind of like some slapdash drywall and some pipes. I'd be terrified.
And that's a
if they-
corner
Oh my
lot,
God, I would be
baby.
so
That's a corner
terrified.
lot in Playa del Rey. That is prime real
Yeah.
estate. You don't want to build
Yeah.
some shit there. That was a house that was built to last. They don't do
Frank
that
Lloyd
anymore.
Wright probably built that house. You don't even know.
Oh, I could tell. I could tell by the scopes, the what are those called?
The gutters.
Cleaves,
Oh,
clubs.
yeah.
You know.
Sure. I know that architecture term. Harry's dead. Harry's died.
Harry's dead.
They've ramped the bus. They've made it over with room to spare. I don't know if you saw this when you were looking at this, Alexis. That bus overshot in the real stunt what they planned
Yeah.
to and destroyed several cameras, so they had to do it again.
What?
They did too good of a job
Yeah.
with the bus the first time.
Well, and I also from this mental floss thing, it says that it was a late addition by the director. The bus
Oh,
jump
like, we
was
need to
added
spice
by
this
the
movie up.
director. Yeah,
I can see
That's
that.
the bus
insane.
landed on a row of cameras. One bus had its tires blown and suspension damage after it went over 100 feet in the air and 20 feet off the ground. Ooh,
I gotta
I
say
love it.
that I honestly thought that was going to be the last like big physical plot point for that bus. Like we put the bus
No.
through everything.
No.
Here's like you see the bus is solid, and then the gas is leaking later on. And
well, yeah.
sorry, I skipped so far ahead, but it is my favorite Sandra Bullock line from the whole movie, because she just goes, "What? You trying to make new problems for yourself or something? You didn't have enough problems?"
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
that is so flirty, and you are on top of a bomb. I'm obsessed.
You two just need to kiss at this point.
Yes. No, not even kiss.
I
This
think
is
they
too
wanted to.
crazy. They immediately start rimming. Okay?
Well,
There's not enough time.
Everyone look away. Everyone look away.
No, that's not what Keanu likes. Everyone look at.
no. Well, they did before all that. They did. I think he realized, like, oh, going into the airport, we could just circle and then we won't have to deal with traffic or breaks in the road or anything. They do that. And then he tries to get under the bus.
Yeah.
And that's when he realizes he can't, and he loses his like little cart thing. He's on like a little underbus thing. That's when he accidentally does a screwdriver to the gas tank.
That was Keanu's real skateboard, probably. He probably just had it on set.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, it wasn't shot. I figured it wasn't shot at LAX. I wondered if it was Burbank, but it was actually shot at the Mojave Airport.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think they say, they just say airport.
I had also read that
they say LAX. They say it a lot.
Yeah. Oh, because
there's a reporter.
Like, you're doomed. Yeah, as soon as you go to LAX, you're not going to make it out of there. An earlier draft of the script had them not at LAX, but at Dodger Stadium. But they couldn't get permission to do Dodger Stadium.
It does have a big parking lot.
Yeah.
Apparently, also according to this Mental Floss article, the original script, Harry ends up being the bad guy.
Oh, yeah, I read that. Which is crazy.
That I see, though. Can I be honest with you? I forgot what happened. And so as I'm watching it today, there was a moment. There was a moment because there's something very tricky about him. There's something very fishy about him. It wasn't until...
just has that vibe, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't until he screamed, "We've got the fucker. We've got that son of a bitch," or whatever, where I was like, oh, wait, I guess he is a good guy still. Like, I thought the twist was going to be that. I wonder if that was the original plan.
It was that Jeff Daniels' character turning out to be the heel apparently wasn't believable enough. Also, the bomb was supposed to go off at 20 miles per hour, not 50, and the bus was going to circle Dodger Stadium, not LAX, before blowing up the Hollywood sign.
Mm-hmm. What?
The Hollywood get up there
is not close to Dodger Stadium.
Hard to reach completely. I would have liked that Harry twist. I guess. Harry twist sounds like an innuendo. But
I heard it.
I realized I haven't seen this movie, but the same writer Graham Yost then took that twist and put it in a later film, Broken Arrow, with John Travolta and Christian Slater.
Christian Slater, I've seen that one.
Yeah, I believe that's the twist of that one. Is that your partner is the secret bad guy? So I guess he took it from Speed and put it on Broken Arrow.
Oh, I love that twist, though. I do love a good twist, and because you get so invested in their relationship, and then not only does the character feel betrayed, but you feel betrayed as the audience member. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really get that. I will say I do like Dennis Hopper as a villain in this. I mean, I guess he's kind of an idiot, but there is something about this very. I don't know. He just has good bad guy energy. I don't know.
He's got great good, bad guy energy.
It's his voice.
Yeah.
It's his voice. It's his voice. Okay. Yeah, can I say, though, he is very good at villain. He's very good at villain. But in the scene after the elevator and he just shot Jeff in the leg and Dennis Hopper is running away, he can't run. So he just turns around and then kind of like, have you ever seen a toddler run who just learned how to walk? He kind of like slowly runs out and he goes, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah, he's definitely.
What is that? I would have shot him immediately.
Old school Batman villain.
Yes.
I love when he's listening to the news and the news guy's like, the whim of a madman. And he's like, the whim of a madman. It's Midwest accent.
He's got some great lines in this. What is it, like, you're crazy? He's like, no, I'm rich. Rich people are eccentric or whatever. Poor people are crazy. There's some great villain lines in this.
Yeah.
We should
he's foiled.
He's foiled. We should defuse this bomb.
Yeah, let's get it going.
We've already alluded to it. I think the big eureka is Jack has put together that Dennis Hopper keeps calling Sandra Bullock Wildcat or right? That's the term, Wildcat. That's the same. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's your
Is it
sweater
the
from your
Arizona
college.
or the Denver Wildcats?
Yeah, the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's got a video footage in here. They do that thing of like look around, but don't be too. Especially, and it's a pretty like big camera because it's the '90s behind that mirror.
Yeah, but somehow they're able to wirelessly like loop it and send it to wherever he is, except for this one bitch. She doesn't understand the concept of continuity. She picks up her purse. And that's when later, after they do get everyone off. They do get everyone off.
Wait, they find out. I'm sorry. I forgot. I ran out of time. So she picks up her purse.
So when they're looping the footage, Jack's like, okay, everyone, just sit here. Do not do anything. Don't make any big movements. What he doesn't communicate to them, because there's no time, is that they have to be still so that the loop looks like they're just sitting there being chill.
Okay.
So, but this one bitch picks up her handbag, and when they loop it,
women and their purses.
You understand
women be tripping. I've said it.
You edit our podcast every week.
Yeah.
When things are edited in and out, it's not a perfect loop. So, anyway, I think they get everyone off. They get the loop going.
Yeah.
They get all the people off. There is no more gas. So that means that the bus is going to blow because they can't maintain 50 miles an hour. It's just Annie and Jack. It's so hot. They get on this other thing that also has wheels, or did it not have wheels? The panel.
Oh yeah, it seemed to be like the medical or the metal like access panel that they kind of just
the access panel in the floor. That's what Sam says earlier. Anyways, they get on that thing. They rig so the gas pedals put down, and they got ropes around the steering wheel, and then they're hugging each other, and they're going out from under the bus. The bus veers away and goes off by itself. They're safe. And then I think Dennis Hopper, he sees that the loop isn't perfect, and he's like, ah! And he gets all mad.
He has a real tantrum.
Where was he?
I think he was downtown. I think he was.
Yeah, he's already by the pickup spot, I believe. Yeah, watching on the TVs.
Right.
And the bus, as the director said, the bus needed ending. They're like, that can't just be enough. The bus can't just go. The bus has to careen into a giant shipping plane. So that it blows up in an even bigger explosion. But everyone made it off.
When I was young, I thought, wait, we went through all this so none of the bus people died. And then it goes into a plane? What about the people on the plane? I didn't understand that there was no one on the plane. They were just taxiing it.
Yeah. No, there's not 100% clear. Yeah.
Well, the guy that is taxiing the plane, you see for sure he gets away.
Oh, man, what's going on? No one told me there's a bus driver
So
around.
aside from Beth, and I don't know if Sam survives, but I do think he is on that podcast.
I think Sam makes it. I think Sam the bus driver makes it.
Yeah, I think he's on
left
that podcast.
with a big smile.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how we get into our fourth act, right? This is a fake... I love this in action movies. I feel like we don't do this much anymore. Like Alien does this really well, where you think it's kind of done. And there's another
there's more and more, and you're like, okay, great, it's over. Nope, it's not over. It's not over.
Although it doesn't feel long. This podcast is longer than the actual movie.
That's true.
Thank you for being part of this for so long. I appreciate it.
This is my favorite thing I've ever done. I'm
just
so sorry that I don't have a proper mic. No, so listen. They do the bag drop. They have a little tag in the bag of the money. Mm-hmm. The creepiest part, and a cab. The creepiest part is how Dennis Hopper, actually comes out and he says, "Oh, Annie, you got to come with me. We got to get you away from the action." And she just trusts him because she thinks he's part of it.
He's got a cop uniform. He's like, "Oh yeah, your friend Jack he's such a good guy. Love Jack." Lures her away from the drop. Enough time has passed, I think, where Jack just doesn't make sense. He runs over, and this has happened in LA before, where you think you have like a post office box or a garbage can. There's just a hole below it because there's mole men. There's just like
it happens all the time.
Sewer people.
Are there mole men rumored in LA?
Oh, I sure hope so. I mean,
I think there is in Las Vegas. Like I think
Las Vegas, there's a lot of people that
live like
there.
in the tunnels and stuff.
Which
is so sad, but also like. Good for you
Kinda
for
cool.
finding a place. Yeah, like good for you for
Well, it's too
making
hot
a spot
above
for
ground
yourself.
in Las Vegas.
100%. Yeah.
He goes through the hole, And because he's like, turn on the tracker. And they're like, no one's been to the trash can yet. And he's like, turn it on. And they turn it on and the money's moving. So he goes down. He sees a body. He's like, freeze. And then turns around. It's Annie.
Love that
and
shot.
She's got a bomb strapped to her chest.
I love that Jack
Oh my God.
mistakes even the silhouette, the shadowy silhouette of Sandra Bullock. He mistakes that as
Because
somehow
he
that could
loves
be
her
Dennis
for
Hopper.
her personality. He doesn't care about looks. That's not his vibe.
This is another thing that I don't know if I made up or not, but I think it's real. Because when Ellen had Sandra Bullock on the Ellen show, Ellen was like, I was up for that part. I almost
she
was the
was.
bus driver.
I had read that too. Yeah. That's
Okay, I didn't make it up.
No, Ellen DeGeneres as
didn't.
Annie would have been wild. Yeah,
It would have been a completely different movie.
It would have been
there's a
so
bunch of-
funny.
Oh,
Can
there's
you
a-
imagine all the
Oh, my-
little one-liners? Her looking directly at the camera as she delivers the lines.
Also,
Yeah.
apparently, Meryl Streep, Kim Basinger, and Anne Heche were also considered for the role, but declined.
Yeah, and
Now,
Halle
Anne
Berry.
Heche speeded herself to death.
Okay.
She did. She
Okay.
drove her car into a house, and then she was dead, but she kept moving.
Show some respect. She got abducted by aliens, okay? And she hadn't ever been the same since.
Oh, I love
Okay, but
that.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna honor her. I'm gonna honor her experience. She sped into a house, and then she was like all burned, and then they brought her out on the gurney, and she was like, "I'm not dead yet." And so she tries to get off the gurney.
Oh
She's
my
naked,
God, I
by the
forgot
way.
about this. I forgot
Yeah.
about this.
She
footage
was
I
a
saw,
zombie, yeah.
She was a zombie, and then she died.
I was reading the
She had,
conspiracy that they like got taken by the Illuminati or something.
She had
Yeah.
squat thumbs. She had those
I
like
don't
fat
know.
thumbs.
This is 90s, but Anne Heche, Harrison Ford, 6
Yep.
Days and 7
I
Nights.
love that movie.
Love that
Incredible
movie.
film.
Love that movie.
So good.
The fact
Yeah.
that
Oh,
the fact that
they don't make
a
movies like these
lesbian
anymore.
actor can make me think that she's genuinely in love with Harrison Ford, so good, right?
Well,
Like,
yeah.
Harrison
And
Ford
noted grump,
was so charming.
Harrison
I don't.
Ford.
Yeah, I don't think he's
Yeah.
charming anymore. But oof,
that was a perfect movie for like, you tell me I'm crashed into the Amazon with a woman and like gotta wrestle a snake out of your underwear or whatever. Great movie. Love.
Jesus, my worst nightmare. Every time I get on a bus in LA, because I do, like I said, I don't have car, so I do take the bus on often. I'm like, I wonder if I'm going to get speeded this time, but it never happens.
You're always telling the bus driver, whatever speed you are, don't go above 60.
okay.
If you're
let me
already
ask
going
you
60,
this.
stay.
Let me
They
ask
don't
you
do
this,
it
Alexis
here.
P. Bevels. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Chad and I are so happy to have you on our show. I just wanted to say, let's say you get speeded. You get on a bus in
Yeah.
North Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're heading somewhere. I don't know, somewhere you can't afford.
I'm heading to
And-
the Plus Bus in Highland Park.
Exactly. I said it. Somewhere you can't afford. And you're getting speeded. Are you active? Are you like activated? Or are you like, I'm just going to make my peace? Like, what are
I
you
think
doing?
in every other situation, in any other situation, I'm sitting back, I'm trying to be invisible, I'm not activated. If I'm in a bus in LA and something happens, I'm first up out of my seat. I'm not even waiting for the bus driver to get shot. I'm saying, get the fuck out of my seat, bitch. And I'm sitting the fuck down.
You're taking the driver's seat,
Okay.
you're saying. You're just like taking command.
Yes.
Yeah. okay.
This is
Chad,
my,
if you ride
this
with
is the
her while she's
reason I'm
driving,
here.
you get it. She's a
Yeah.
very reckless driver. It's like her dream.
But if you
No,
need
I'm a
this,
good driver.
You
Have
are
you
a
had-
better
have you-
driver than our friends.
have you had
I'll
a lot,
give you that.
any accidents, Alexis?
Not since moving here, but again, I don't have a car.
She didn't drive for like 18 years. To be
Yeah.
fair. To be fair.
Yeah.
She's only
Let the
been
record
driving
show
for like
she
6
hasn't
months.
had-
And I got my license taken away, much like Annie in this show, but not for speeding. It was for answering
voter
a
fraud.
phone call at a red light, telling them I can't talk because
You
I'm
were
driving.
you were on your
So the light
phone
was
while
red.
driving.
I picked it up. I said, I can't talk. I'm driving by, and somewhere, some fucking cop with a telescope miles away saw that and gave me a $2,000 ticket. I
What?
said, absolutely
This is
not.
20
I'm
years
just going to
ago.
get rid of my car. So
That
it
is
was before
so
iPhones. I was a flip phone.
interesting. So you did that. You did that really dangerous thing that then caused you not to drive for almost 2 decades.
I
But
didn't need to. I lived in
yesterday,
Chicago.
yesterday you were driving us from the studio. I seem to remember you picking up your phone and texting a lot. So it seems like you didn't learn your
No,
lesson,
I
did
picked
it?
up my phone to view a text,
Girl,
but it
don't
was
make me
also
tell the
the
story.
map.
Girl,
Also a map.
girl,
I'm ready
Girl.
to hear it.
I was at a red light.
I'll
I was
deliberate
stopped.
in this. Welcome to Judge Chad's.
She
courtroom.
was stopped until
live in
she
an
picked up her
age-
phone to look at the text message. And do you know what her brain decided to do? While I'm looking at a text message, I'm going to hit the gas. We're at a red light. There's a car right in front of us. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, Chad. I'm not kidding. And
We live in an
Alexis,
age where every Uber driver has got two phones, and one of them is looking at the map.
yeah, they're practiced. You're not. You almost hit a stopped car because you wanted to look at a text message.
But I didn't hit it.
Because I stopped you. I grabbed your arm.
So a crime was not committed, but almost committed.
No crimes were committed.
Well, she was actively on her phone while driving. That is a crime.
Darby,
What?
I want to do this in a public venue, but I have no choice. You have thrown the gauntlet down,
Yeah.
and I can only retaliate the best way I know how.
Oh, try.
Which is to say that
Try.
you take your shoes off on planes.
Oh.
Oh, is it stinky?
Oh.
I've never noticed the smell, but I can't believe
Oh.
that everyone I know, you do it.
Okay, well, let me tell you this, Chad and listeners.
Yeah.
Something you need to know about me. I'm very sensitive. I've got a weird toe thing. And so I always have no-show socks on. And when I fly on a plane, because I'm an elder millennial, and if I ever get in anyone's way or make anyone take longer in the security line because I couldn't get my belt off fast enough,
feel that
I want to
pressure,
kill
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
So I wear clogs. I wear slip-off shoes. And so
Yeah.
when I get on a plane, I don't think it's crazy to slip your clogs off if you have no-show socks on. If I had
It's not crazy.
untied my shoes, or if I was bare feet, sure.
Yeah.
So I think
You
I
know
just
what?
threw that
I take
gauntlet
it back.
into your butt.
I take it
You
back.
got fucked,
And
bitch.
I feel bad because it's not who I am to try and make people feel bad.
No.
And so that's your thing. So I am very sorry.
I am better at it than you. Always
I
have
can-
been.
You're
Always
more
will be.
practiced.
Two immediate thought comes to mind, and I appreciate both of you all for sharing. This is a very
Oh my
we
God,
listen to
Chad!
much,
I forgot
yeah.
you're here. Thank you so much. What do you
good.
think?
All good. I was just enjoying it. I was just like, oh, this is cool. I'm getting my own IMHO.
So sorry.
We do
No, all
like to
good.
argue in front of strangers. It's like our favorite thing.
It's just like my parents. No,
Whoa, Chad. Wait, do you have bad parents?
No, they're fine. They're 80 years old. They're fine. They're old.
My dad's 82. Or
Oh
will
yeah.
be.
75.
It's weird to live with grow up with like.
Were you an accident?
They called me a miracle, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Call me a surprise and then a disappointment.
I was also a surprise. They had twins, and they only thought they were having one. And my brother came out, and then the doctor goes, "Well, done for the day," and he left. And
Yeah,
then,
already started stealing it up.
and then a nurse went, "There's a really skinny, pretty one back there." And so I was the surprise, and much like
Wait.
Alexis, the disappointment.
Yeah. What was your two thoughts, Chad?
Oh,
sorry,
you know what?
Chad.
Oh, that's all good. I'm trying to remember one of them now. The other one was, well, Darby, not to give you credit too much for taking your shoes off, but it does make me think of, if your favorite movie is Die Hard, you probably have somewhere in the back of your mind, the reason John McClane doesn't wear shoes is because he's told when you get off of a flight, you're supposed to immediately, first thing you do is take your shoes off and like push your feet into the ground in the carpet, and that's why he's shoeless in that movie. If you remember that.
Oh.
So maybe that kind of planted something in your brain, Darby, that you're trying to do that.
You know what, Chad? That is such an interesting point that I already knew, and that is the reason, and that is
Yeah.
the reason. So thank you, Chad,
Of
for
course.
picking up on that.
Oh, and I remember the other
Darby?
second thing, just a fun thing to look up to later. Not to shame him too much, but speaking of weird toes, you got to look up LeBron James's feet sometime.
I won't. I
You
can
got- She
tell
doesn't
you
like
right here,
toes.
right now. I won't.
She'll look up his hands.
I love
his
hands.
Hands, fine. I have never, until I saw recently a photo. I was on WikiFeet, and I was going through
course.
all my favorite NBA players.
Yeah, why not?
LeBron James's toes. Like if this is like your foot, right? And this is where your toe would be. This is a non-visual thing for the podcast. This is where the toes would normally be. His toes are up here. Like they have been pushed, and it was theorized
no.
because he is someone who, for a living, has been hard sprinting from a dead stop for years. He, like, through the force of his physical strength, has been pushing his toes up his body, like they are shifting.
Like a ballet dancer,
Yeah, like but even more,
but
even
less
more
gay.
So. Yeah. You gotta check it out sometime.
Darby,
No.
I'm really sorry I brought up that foot thing. Are you mad at me?
Not at all. I just wanted to know if there was like a genuine concern
There's not a
because I'm
concern
getting on a
from
plane
me because
tomorrow.
you don't smell. You're very clean.
Thank
But
you so
I know
much.
that it is a point of conversation that some people are like, I cannot believe the people that take their shoes off on a plane.
Right. And
But you're not stinky.
I
Never.
don't put my feet through to the other seats, or I don't put my feet
Oh,
in the aisle. Like the only people who know
Oh,
that
I
my
do that.
clogs are off are Alexis, or like
I
whatever.
think if you're keeping
person.
them below in the baggage
Yeah.
check area, I think you're okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
When I go to the bathroom or whatever, like I put the clogs back on. Come on.
I feel really bad, you guys.
No,
No,
don't
it's all
feel
good.
bad.
You
You
know-
wanted to throw me under the bus, but you realized
you
I'm
wanted to
too
throw Darby
skinny.
under the bus like
The
Van
bus
Grant.
the bus had already exploded by
Yeah.
going into
Yeah.
that freighter. Now we're in a subway, so we've got planes, trains, and automobiles.
I thought
but
about that
just-
too. They should have called the name something different for sure.
Yeah, actually, buses, trains, and elevators. He's got Annie.
Yeah.
He takes her into the
The movie's
the
still
subway
not
car.
over. Oh my god.
Well, we're almost done.
No, go for it. I'm sorry. I just forgot.
Alexis,
And
please.
he handcuffs her to the pole, and Jack
I'm
does
listening.
get on the train. Dennis Hopper's flying. Then they get on the roof somehow.
Yeah,
and
he shoots a poor train guy.
That guy also dies.
That guy also dies. By the way,
He loves killing.
loves killing. By the way, I don't know if you guys have ridden an LA train yet since you've been here on the Metro.
I have.
Those trains are exactly the same.
Yeah.
That red line is those exact same cars. Those seats have not been updated since this movie. It
Aren't
is
they expanding it for the Olympics?
Oh, don't get me started
Probably.
on that. Probably.
I think they are.
We are ill prepared for that Olympics.
We are, but
We
that's
are going-
the United States.
We are
baby.
going on a long vacation that year.
That's
Well, I'm
probably really smart.
Airbnb-ing the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
When I don't know if you've ever been to a city that did the Olympics. My parents took me to Atlanta when I was a kid.
Yeah,
When
you know they
1996?
still have everything up, and it's all dilapidated now.
It was like
It's
a
so
week.
sad.
It was a week after the Olympics, and it was like
96.
Mad Max World, just like piles of trash, and just like the city had not taken it well. Yeah, destroyed.
They
Atlanta.
still have like the big statue of the torch where they had the final torch lighting or whatever.
Yeah.
It's still up, like next to the highway, and it has not been taken care of. It's really
just
sad.
plushies of that stupid Izzy mascot for the Atlanta Olympics just laying
Okay,
everywhere.
Izzy was perfect. Izzy was a perfect mascot, and I was obsessed with the 1996 Olympics.
I also
Me
did.
too. Carrie Strug.
Oh, that was that one. That was the last good Olympics. You know,
They just don't make them like they used to.
no, bad the one in Germany. Yeah.
So what happens, Alexis?
So
How
what
do they
happens?
get out
Alexis?
of
So
it?
they get on top of the train.
So they get on top of the train. They're wrestling around. Oh, but before that, Dennis Hopper gets into the money, and there's an ink pack in there, and it inks him in the face, and he goes, "My money!" It's so good.
Why did he
They
not
get
think
on-
about that? By the way, like he's thought about all these steps. Didn't think about there being an ink bomb in the money. I don't know. It just seems very.
He's
Wasn't, like, a widely
masterminded
known
everything,
thing.
and then he doesn't think about. Yeah, that's dumb.
Well, we know about ink bombs. Maybe they didn't know about it back then.
he was a cop.
But he wasn't a banker, was he?
But when ink packs are exploded, who else
So
is
they're
there?
rolling
Cops.
around on top of the train. they're squabbling, they're fighting. Jack, they're messing around, and also Dennis Hopper's got the trigger for the
Yeah, if
bomb
he lets
that's
go of
around
this, Andy's
Annie's
gonna blow
vest.
up. Yeah.
Annie's gonna blow up. He has to hold the button down or he has to squeeze it shut so it doesn't blow. Jack wrestles it away, and then Dennis Hopper's like, "Yeah, I'm smarter than you." And then Jack pushes his head up, and his head gets taken off by a low-hanging light in the tunnel.
Yeah. What
And
does Jack
Keanu
say?
Reeves has the thing in his hand. He goes, "Yeah, but I'm taller." And I don't know why he says that.
No.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, because he could reach to push him up through the hole.
I was thinking like, but he's like, what but my arm length is taller is what he should
Yeah.
have said.
We
Yeah.
all know tall doesn't matter when you're horizontal.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does, girl. Yes, it does. I am 6'1". I dated this guy that I nicknamed Short Muscle Person. He was like 5'6" if he was a J. Okay.
Yeah.
And he he would have to fold me in half like origami. And I'm already a pillow princess. I already just lay there. But now I have to lay in half? Fuck off.
Well, Jack is laying there on the top of the subway car until he goes back in and he realizes he didn't bring his key for the handcuffs. Annie's sitting there. He disarms the bomb. He takes her vest off, but he can't get her off. And this is like, oh my God.
What?
Not yet, at least. He can't get off.
He can't get Annie out of the handcuffs, off of the pole. And he's like, oh my God, this fucking sucks. How much more do I have to deal with today? And then he goes to the front. It can't stop. The emergency brake has been shot up. And so he's like, I'm going to speed it up.
Well, it worked last time. They ramped the bus the last time, so why not make Choo Choo go faster?
So he does the choo-choo. The choo-choo goes faster. They're just holding each other. Her poor wrists. I always think about the way she was trying to get her wrist off. There's so many times when I tied myself.
Oh, they're really like. I mean, that is the strongest pole I've ever seen in an LA train that they can't both kick and knock off. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's so good at making believe that her wrists hurt. And anyway,
she has an Oscar. She saved that boy.
The train car goes into, I don't know, the track isn't finished yet because of course it isn't.
No.
It jumps up a ramp and then it lands outside of right by the Grauman's Chinese Theater.
Yep.
Right on Hollywood Boulevard.
There is a red line exit there, so actually that is incredibly accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. But they do get done. They're fine, relatively unscathed. And then they kiss. And then there's a woman in a bucket hat who comes over and she goes, and she's like, oh, it's the same woman that I saw on the news when OJ was announced not guilty. She was the last moment of this. Although they do have a line.
Yeah, what's the final line? What is it like? While they're laying there in the wreckage, limbs entwined. Alexis, I assume you know it, so I'm going to let you say it.
Yeah, relationships based on traumatic circumstances never last. And she's like, all right, so we'll have to base ours on sex. And then they kiss.
That is such a Joss Whedon line. That is such
And then
a Joss
in
Absolutely.
Speed 2, it's like one of the first things she says.
Really?
Yeah.
In Speed 2, she's doing her driver's test to get her license back.
And she's
as a
really bad.
session.
And she's a terrible
And she's
driver.
talking about how she will never date cops again. But she doesn't know
they didn't stay
that
together,
the guy
they didn't
she's
make it?
dating.
Yeah.
No, because the last guy she dated, he was always getting into trouble and she couldn't handle it. She's always running towards the accidents. So she wanted to date a nice, normal guy. Little does she know, the guy she got, he had been lying to her.
Can you believe a male, straight cop disrespected his female girlfriend? What a fucking weird storyline.
But that's for the next time. The Speed is so good. It makes me so happy. The two main heroes survive this day. One day. Well,
it was one day in LA.
2 hours.
It's just one day.
Or like 3 hours, right?
Oh, yeah, because he's like...
By 11.
By 11 a.m. Yeah. So it's probably like noon by the time this train stuff wraps up.
Okay, when I ran out of time, okay, they were at the airport. They'd already done most of the stuff, right? Yeah. Like it seemed like it was ending. Yeah. Of course it wasn't. But he does say on the phone with Jack, he says, today looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. And I was like, bitch, I've been watching this for an hour and a half and it's still the morning for you.
Yeah.
That's why I can't watch The Pit. I can't watch things that are shot in like this is a true hour of our life.
24, so never did anything for you?
Yeah. Never doing 24.
24. No.
I wasn't a 24.
Same. Yeah. Wasn't a 24. I don't want to make too much about Speed 2 because I haven't seen Speed 2 : Cruise Control, which is such a
my God, you have to watch it. It's insane.
It's really fun.
It
is different.
The lead guy is horrifically bad.
Oh, because you can't go from Keanu, right? But I just want curious, is there a moment, because it's about the boat it's going to blow up, right? It's the exact same thing. There's a bomb on the boat.
But it's not connected to anything speed-wise. It's just like there's a madman on a boat and he's got a bomb hooked up.
Okay, it's not tied to speed. Okay, it's not like kilometers.
Well, and like the bomb it's more that he has complete and total control over the computer system, and so he's speeding up the boat to then push it into buildings.
The Bahamas. Yeah.
The Bahamas, yeah.
Wow, the poor Bahamas. Okay.
But there is a cameo from Glenn Plummer the guy, the Jaguar guy,
yeah.
Really?
in Speed 2.
In another
And
convertible.
it is very satisfying, but other than that, it's completely different. It's camp.
Does
Sandra
Annie
Bullock's
go
character is Annie is not the Annie you know from Speed 1
It's
at all.
it's an alternate universe. It's a parallel universe.
Does she ever go there like, are you telling me this is the second time in my life I'm on a vehicle with a bomb?
Yeah, but
She has a
they
ton
don't.
of those lines.
But it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
What I want to say, listening to that other podcast about this, is that when they
The Better
filmed it,
Podcast,
obviously, no, I didn't say that.
No, I did. That's fine.
No, but just hearing about the other people on the bus's experiences, because they filmed this, they can't use air conditioning.
Oh.
So they spent like 6
Oh,
weeks
no.
in a bus, no air, because they needed to film. And they really all did kind of like
Bond. Trauma bond.
Yeah.
yeah. I just think it's so cool. I think the whole concept. And I really want a Speed reboot with the original people.
Yeah. Bring him back. Speed
Okay.
3'd.
And there's
Yeah.
more bombs. Speed 3, more bombs.
What vehicle would you put it on?
What?
What
vehicle?
vehicle?
Well,
Put Speed
I
3
do
on.
think Sandra
Oh, a
Bullock's
Cybertruck.
Gravity is unofficially.
I would love to see a Cybertruck blow up.
There's not even a terrorist plot. It's all just, you're in a Cybertruck. We got to get off this.
Oh,
Cybertruck.
maybe
have
it
to
is
get
a
out of here.
cyber bus. Maybe it's a cyber bus, and maybe it's a self-driving bus, and the AI
Waymo?
intelligence
Oh my
has
God!
gone.
It's the cyber loop
Yeah.
that never got made. Is the
No.
yeah.
I do consider Sandra Bullock's hit film Gravity to be the unofficial third in the trilogy.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's also about, not being able to control or whatever.
Yeah.
But she survives that. So I think we do Speed 4. I think we do Lime Scooters.
Ooh, I like that. You got to keep recharging them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
While they're moving.
I think like that. Or, I was going like you go down to Coney, like the Santa Monica Pier, that little roller coaster. You got to stay on this roller coaster
I've
the whole
never
time.
ridden that. It looks so cute.
Yeah, let's write it.
Okay.
Next
Chad,
time,
what are you
we'll have you guys
doing?
back. We'll record it live
Chad-
on the roller coaster.
And let's do a speed tour. Let's figure out where all they go, and then I'll put it together.
I would genuinely
Speed tour of
love
LA.
that.
I am out of town that day, actually. That is so crazy that you would mention that. I'm so sorry, Alexis. But you'll have fun.
We'll have a great time
Of
for
course.
it. I think that's been a Goosebuds episode. I think that's the plot of Speed. Alexis, you did an amazing job recapping it. Darby, you did a pretty solid job too.
Thank you so
Crap
much.
shit, but thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you on for this. I am, be honest, I was geeking out. I was like, I can't believe they responded. I'm talking to Curtis. I've heard Curtis's name on the podcast. Oh my gosh, I know.
Aw, Chad, stop.
Stop.
Big fans of your all stuff. I mean, I want to say also you guys should tell our listeners where to check out your stuff, but I cannot recommend enough IMHO the Show. I also listen to Twinnuendo. I'm in the full IMHO cinematic universe, but like,
Oh,
jeez.
thank you.
Tell the listeners like where would you recommend they divert their attentions on the internet to?
Well, IMHO the Show on YouTube, and then we also just started our own podcast, IMHO the Podcast.
Fantastic.
Wherever you get your podcast.
That's a really difficult title for us to figure out. IMHO the Show was just so iconic, and like,
It's so
how
good.
do you match that?
And
so we
now-
switched out show for podcast, and it's
And now-
really changed the game.
I'm sure you all already talked about this too, but like that B. Michelle Obama's got an IMO podcast.
Okay, we are in talks with her currently. We're gonna try and because like I'm not mad that the former first lady wants to make a podcast that is so similar to ours. I'm sure we tell very similar stories about
Yeah.
pooping and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully by the time this episode comes out, we will have joined forces, and we're actually going to do IMHO the IMO podcast with Michelle Obama and Alexis and Darby.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's
I
great.
think your guys' individual podcasts are fantastic. I love your Drag Race recaps. You guys are making some amazing stuff on the internet. Also, y'all do live shows still? Because I've seen some footage of you both like singing on stage, and I want to know when you all performing again.
Oh yeah, we are. You say things.
Okay. Yes, we we haven't done a live show in a while. Yeah, we do stuff around all the towns and so.
Oh, I think we just lost Alexis. I think Alexis
She
just found
was so embarrassed that she didn't know. I'm just gonna finish this because my dog
it's
just farted and I have to leave this room.
That's the signal. Yeah.
No, we do stuff around LA a lot. She's about to do a brunch this weekend. But we do have upcoming. When is this coming out, Chad, by the way?
It'd be sometime in April, probably like the next couple weeks.
Gorgeous. Okay.
Yeah.
We did just confirm we're going to head back to Chicago and we're going to do a live show in Chicago June 8th. IMHO returns to Chicago.
Hell yeah.
So that's our next like big show. But yeah, we do stuff around. We do Fat Sled on occasion. We do a bunch of different stuff. Just check our social media. That's the best way to find us. And as Chad mentioned earlier, I do have another podcast called Twinnuendo with my twin brother. My twin brother was a pastor for 20 years, and now he no longer believes in God, and now we can be friends.
Oh, I didn't know the pastor thing was... I thought that was a bit. I didn't realize that was a genuine part.
No, very genuine, very real, very real. Yeah. So we're basically reliving our childhood, but like explaining how his childhood was so much better than mine and why. And it's fun. If you hate religion, or if religion has hurt you, Twinnuendo is the place to be.
The recent episode of Twinnuendo was very much actually mirroring my own relationship with my wife. Not to make it sound weird that your relationship with your twin brother. But in that, Heidi. Your old landlord, my old Heidi, in that a lot of what your brother was showing you was clips, popular meme clips from Drag Race. Mm-hmm. Like There's No One Died in Stonewall. Like that's essentially what my relationship with drag content is.
That's
is
cute.
Heidi showing me a clip and then telling me the entire history of it and then going, I love it. Great. So like I was kind of like a little reflection of
and you get to learn. Isn't that so fun? I love to learn.
I loved y'all's content. Thank you so much for being part of it. If you listening to this want Darby and Alexis to come back and I make us beg it, please let us know. The best way to do that is to be part of the Goosebuds Patreon. I'm gonna make Alexis and Darby, you guys listen for 30 awkward seconds while I plug our Patreon, if that's all right.
Do it.
You can support the show, get access to a bunch of awesome stuff at patreon.com/goosebuds. Not only does it support the show, you get access to bonus episodes of Camp Goosebuds, which is dozens and dozens of past episodes of me and the previous host just kind of hanging around shooting the shit. Now it's moving into a little bit more like Mystery Science Theater gameplay stuff. Like I just put up some videos of me, Alexis, and Darby. I don't know if you guys ever played Lethal Company. No, you're not big gamers. You're
I played GoldenEye Slappers Only.
Oh,
yeah.
Growing up.
I like Fortnite, and my boyfriend plays Valheim. Do you ever play that?
Oh, I loved Valheim. Yeah, Valheim's sick.
Yeah.
I've been playing Monster Hunter a lot now. That's been my new jam. I don't know if your partners play that at all, but some of that has been a recent one. Was checking out the horror game Lethal Company, where you and 3 friends go around as like you're kind of like going through a haunted like factory, and you're trying to gather scrap. But meanwhile, these random monsters come at you, and I lost my shit as spider monsters came and ate my head off.
Thank you.
I want to watch that.
It's on. I'll send you a link, Alexis. But it is on.
Please do.
Patreon.com/goosebuds. You can access that. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Or if you ever want to reach out to us, email us at goosebuds@gmail.com. But really, the Patreon is the way to do it. Again, Darby and Alexis, thank you so much for being guests. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Thank you so
much,
Chad.
Having us, Chad. This was so much fun.
And tell Heidi we said hi.
I will. I'll let you guys know how much you guys still owe her in back rent, but otherwise...
Yeah, and tell her to hold her fucking breath for that
money. Yeah.
God.
Will do.
My arms are longer, or whatever.
Until next time, thank you all. Goodbye.
Bye.
I have to warn you. I've heard relationships based on intense experiences never work.
Okay. We'll have to base it on sex then.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
This episode of Goosebuds is brought to you by our wonderful Patreon supporters, especially those in the venerable tier of the Book of Names. May they be immortalized forever. Starting with Low Belly Hate Me, Hollis Hornbeak, Nathan Dozal, Hey Josh Robb, Mickey C, Afsheen, Stealth, a beautifully fleshed skeleton, Bates, Robert Moon. DM me, I'll tell you about the Rite Aid fraud. I'm still waiting to hear about this Rite Aid fraud. The Juggalobalist. Aiden is doing shots of Skittles Littles. Gregory D. Warren. Jar Jar Slinks. Chosen One. The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation. Yanni Markovina. Carl. Anthony Mulberry. Brooke X. Christian Van Skeever. Jeremy Lowe. Zach Connor. Tevin Ticklebean whispers, "Rich people are a scam," and releases the arrow. Fly true, arrow. Fly true. Luke. Matt McClellan. Juan Jalapena. Clay McCarty, a.k.a. Yowie Gargarin. I think I'm getting that right, Clay. You better let me know. Matthew Sutton. Kelsey Kinnaman. Tobias Clark. Russell Kastberg. Xavier Jimenez Castillo. Renna Kemp. MC Hamster. Limp Duck. Jonas Blotterman. Chris, not illegal to type guillotine schematics. And I love where the book of names is going, by the way. This is great. We're all going to be on an NSA watch list. Kieran McNamara. Lamb. Coleman Laguza. Diet Soda. Jonas Enevoldsen. Woof, 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 woof. A pair of Scots. Streak. Iro Forte. That's a sick-ass name. It's like a Sonic antagonist villain. Dr. Robotnik's cousin. Meta for the Metaphor. New music coming soon. Better be posting that in the music Discord channel, Meta. Zambambino. Ma! The meatloaf! Burger's functioning replacement for Kevin's heart. Some of Chad's bird friends. Nicholas Maloney. Lucretia McEvil. Mutant Astronaut. Need more kimchi. Logan Derby. Cameron Hansen. Generally depressing. Philip Reynolds. Nate Bit G. Ryan R. Davis. Scott Wable. Resident Lorcana guy pledges their half Hexwell crown to Kevin and their lucky dime to Paul. Goodbye, boys. Love y'all. I miss them and love them too. Lorcana guy, thank you for pledging those. Gluten-free Rocky Mountain Oysters. Artist formerly known as Stinklich. Chooch rules. Chooch does rule. I can't do the voice. Only Kevin could do the voice. Chooch talks like this. No, that's not even close. Oh, ignore that I even did that. Megan McCormick Mason. Ninja Breadman. Sprinkle Buns. Aaron Lord. Dr. Chocula. Mike Hart. SSJ Trogdor. Cassandra Harris. Max Boltzmann. Farah Mike Spaghetti Jones. Quest Goblin Grader. Kyle O'Neill. John W. Kiwi of Lerv. Chevy LaGrange. Max is a box that shoots death. Logan Kilgus. Mr. Bumpy versus the Closet Monster versus Destructo. Blarbin. Odin's Eyehole. Turaku, the thing that goes doink in the anime. Doink. Jafar wonders when Chad will add the Patreon tier to be a guest host so he can steal Goblin Monday from Quest. Well, now see, Jafar, I don't know if I should do that because you seem like you have bad motives. We'll talk about it. Dacious. Wade Norcross. Ben Flulius Sayer. The Strays. Bob Cabbage. The Shrekronomicon. Jolly Old Jules. Geege. Smellodies. Soap. I feel like Smellodies and soap going together is very, very nice. Spencer Leith Johnston. Al and MC. Caleb doesn't have much to say this month. That's okay. You know, sometimes an artist respects the silence. Tall glass of dumb bitch juice might be a gargle, question mark. Are you saying you might gargle your own tall glass of dumb bitch juice? I'd give it a gargle. See what you're all about. Treehouse of Jorge 6, The Curse of Treehouse Myers. Nintendo 60 Jorts. Carly Beth's Parents 808. Better a Yeti with a flaw than a Bigfoot without. Always wise. Tootin Watson. Wyvern. Angus Keith. Big old dumb bird engaged to Ladybird fiance. Always gonna congratulate you guys. Felix. Daniel Lavelle. Nathan Galindo. Wolf CIA. The scariest form of CIA. Mitch Show. J. Fenn Crane. Eric Wink. Ari. Or is it Ari? Let me know. A-R-I-E. Please let me know. Andrew. Ventus 13. Only Sora and Roxas can stop Ventus 13. Ben L. cursed as a Halloween gingerbread. Help! A Halloween gingerbread? What in the sense of Tim Burton's Night Before Christmas is going on here? Snackwell's Cookie Monster. Just nicely compared to Halloween gingerbread monster. Great. Haptic. Smithios, Avery, Snack Reiner, Zack Snyder. And welcome to the Book of Names, Fogbread. And welcome to the Book of Names, Nick. Thank you all so very, very much for supporting the show and sticking with me in this new third wave of Goosebuds. I hope you guys are enjoying the new episodes, and especially you all who are pledging your support like this. It means a lot. Really, really does. Love you all. Until next time. You've reached the end of this episode of Goosebuds. Hosted and produced by Chad Quandt. Hey, that's me. Associate produced by Heidi Butler. Edited by Ben Ravid. Art by Brock Gallagher. Theme music and interstitials by Seth Ernest. You can contact us at goosebuds@gmail.com. And please support the show and get access to bonus episodes and more at patreon.com/goosebuds.